What up, TMS family? And today is Sunday, March 21st, 2021. Here on the Too Much Show, it's always real talk by real people. I'm your host, MT, and with me is my co-host,
Mr. Jones, aka Sam Jones. Mr. Come first because you gotta respect me. And we laugh. Another Sunday. How you doing this morning, my brother?
man. I'm doing well, man. I'm definitely doing well. So we got an awesome show for the people. But before we even get into that, how are you doing, Mr. Jones?
Oh man, I'm doing all right, man. I'm up today, so it's another reason to be celebratory because we're alive. Make sure y'all drink water, make you live longer.
That's it. We talk about it. All right. So today's show, or the title of today's show, is there any justice in doing it your way? Uh, so first off, for the jam-packed show that we have today, we're obviously going to be talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Of
That will
course.
be on the second half of the show. But in the first half of the show, what we're actually going to be leading off with is NFL news from free agency signings, and then a gentleman who wanted to do things his way and take control of his destiny, and now it's just things coming out of the woodwork. So,
Coincidentally.
yeah, coincidentally, and we are speaking of Deshaun Watson. But before we get into that, so for NFL news, man, let's talk about NFL free agency. Mr. Jones, let's talk about it, sir. How do you feel?
It's a lot of moves being made, but only few of them I see beneficial. I mean, we could kind of go team by team. Let's start with the AFC East and the Buffalo Bills because they made a few moves. One
Okay.
move they made is definitely getting Emmanuel Sanders on the wide receiver core along with Stephon Diggs.
Journeyman, but go ahead. Yep.
I totally agree with you at this point. I mean, he's been bouncing around place to place. I don't think he has that same mystique he had when he left Denver, to be honest with you.
No, I don't even think he's had 1,000-yard receiving season since he left Denver.
That's what I'm saying. And he's going to have opportunities to actually be better because let's be honest, Josh Allen is probably going to be the best quarterback he ever had, other than, I guess, old man Peyton, skills wise. So I think it might have a turnaround season, but at the same time, we know it's all about getting Stephon Diggs the ball more. That's why.
Exactly, and getting him open more where he's not getting double teamed so much.
Because Cole gonna be in the slack. I mean, Cole's for possessions and third down, especially third and short to get the first. So, all right, let me talk about this move in detail. So, the Buffalo Bills also signed Mitchell Trubisky as a backup for $2.5 million guaranteed. Now, this connects to the Bears, as I believe Dan Snyder the worst owner in football. No ifs, ands, or buts, not even fucking close. But the Chicago Bears has to be by far the worst organization in football, if that makes sense. The reason why I say that is because they signed fucking Andy Dalton to a $10 million contract, 4 times more than a Mitchell Trubisky, and they're virtually the same player. At least Mitchell Trubisky is young.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton is older. And it's like, what are you doing? It's like sometimes when you make the move, doesn't mean it's the best move. And honestly, at this point, they should have just gave Mitch one more year. I mean, you could give him somewhat of an excuse. He never had a stable system. He doesn't have a GM that's worth it, damn. I mean,
excuse me. He doesn't have that prolific number one wide receiver either.
He don't have shit. It wasn't really his fault. So at the end of the day, I'm like, what the fuck are the Bears organization doing? And on top of that, they let Kyle Fuller go, one of their stars on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And he got signed to a new contract for what, $9.5 million, which is kind of like a steal for a veteran, proven secondary right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a terrible move. To go on to the Dolphins, they signed Jacoby Brissett to a $5 million contract. I mean, he could be a good backup or starter if Tua started bullshitting in the beginning of the season. So I thought that was a good move for Miami. I'm glad that Jacoby got another chance. And it looks like Miami just signed Will Fuller, too, not too long ago.
Yeah, they did. They signed Will Fuller. I wasn't very impressed with that signing. I mean, he's just somebody. He's there. He's there.
I'm not highly impressed with it, but at the same time, that shows you who really wants to play for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. The Crow Keith Sweat. I mean, we know about the millions and millions of things that the Patriots did to break down that division, and I mean, it's nothing really going on with the Jets, but they're going to
Well, hold on.
huh?
Hold on. Before we go into the details, it may be some people that's just joining the show, or you know what I mean, like they don't know everything that's going on. My goodness, it's windy. Uh, so when we talk about the Patriots have made a lot of moves, so we got to give them their credit. They definitely beefed up the defense. Hold on, let me go to it right
Of
now.
course, he cares about defense. But I give you the moves. I mean, they re-signed Cam. They got Nelson Aguilar. I mean, that don't mean shit to me. He got to catch the ball first. Also, they got Kendrick Bourne. I mean, he's a youngster. I mean, he might be up and coming. He has speed. I can give you that much.
He
Also,
does.
in a tight end
Jonnu
position.
Smith.
Yeah, I want to say Juju Smith and Hunter Henry for the Chargers. I think them two can be pretty good. I mean,
Exactly.
they're not going to be Gronk and the murderer, but you know what I mean. They'd be a good tight end combination. Also, they signed 3 linemen. They got Trent Brown, David Andrews, and Ted Karras. I hope I ain't saying his name wrong. Too bad.
Exactly. So here's the thing: they're getting it done on both sides. So you're getting protection for Cam, and then you're getting him weapons that he could throw to, and you're turning that team. To me, it seems like you're using Cam Newton's strength now, when you're going with a 2 tight end system, and when you're going with Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. What you're saying is we want to be able to run the ball and allow him to complete the short to intermediate passes to effectively wear down the defense and get the ball down the field while taking that other team's offense out of the game.
In retrospect, yes, that's the plan. It's all about executing at this point. And I mean, on defense, they got Jalen Mills. I think that's a good pickup. And also, they re-signed Cal Van Noy, which is huge. And let's be honest, a lot of people sat out like the Patrick Chungs last year of the world. So, I mean,
well, yeah, and then Patrick Chung just retired as well. But they have Jalen Mills on as a DB. They have Matt Judon, and they picked up David Godchow from the Miami Dolphins. So the defense is beefed up. I'm excited to see what the New England Patriots do this season. I think that they could be a 10-16.
That's the ceiling. That's the absolute ceiling for me. I expect 9-7, maybe 8-8, but 10-6 is definitely the ceiling. If they go over 10-6, I will be very shocked, to be honest with you. But I mean, if any man can do it on the coaching end, it has to be Bill Belichick or Mike Tomlin. Them the 2 coaches that can turn shit into gold. And speaking of Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got Juju Smith coming back home to the Pittsburgh Steelers after he went out there in free agency and absolutely nobody wanted his ass. So
yeah, and it's weird too. So he only signed a 1-year deal, like $9.5 million. So I think just to weigh in on this, like this is Juju's, I'm not going to say final year in the league, but this is his final time to show that he deserves this top wide receiver money. You get what I'm saying? That $14 to $18 million a year wide receiver money. Because
if you think about it, I think he kind of did though. He had almost 100 catches last year.
But he didn't have 1,000 yards, sir.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not going to refute that point. I mean, that's my original argument. Everything. But I'm just saying at the same time, I mean, it's not like he doesn't produce on the field. I just think the quarterback that decided to retire, unretire, is kind of like a shell of himself.
I mean,
when you have less than a second to run your route, what the fuck can you do? You're like, seriously, soon snap. That's Ben. He really released it in like 0.5 seconds. I think the most time he spent in the pocket is 2 seconds. Probably like his sex life. All right, to continue. Well, the Texans is just letting everybody go for free, but they decided they wanted to sign Tyrod Taylor just to let him go ahead and start the rebuilding process.
Exactly. He'll be the sacrificial lamb. He think that punctured lung hurt. Wait till these damn defensive linemen and linebackers get a hold of his ass.
Remember David Carr that played for them back in the day? They're gonna be hitting his ass up like David Carr probably.
Yeah.
I expect the sack record to be broken, even though they tried to sign some offensive tackles and offensive guards and everything. We know what the coach did already. I mean, they ain't do much, but they got Xavier Rhodes, Marlon Mack, and Carson Wentz. I think they got three big signings there. Now for Jacksonville, Jacksonville got Carlos Hyde. I think that's a good move.
Yes. TMS fantasy football will be in effect this season. Yes.
We back. We back. We give you more details in the summer, baby. But we are back. I know. Yep. Oh yeah, that's the second season champ right there. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we got Marvin Jones for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that's a decent move.
Mm-hmm. That is a decent move. They signed a couple other notable people. They signed a notable
Shaquille Griffin. Shaquille Griffin is a great move.
It is.
3 years for $44 million. They paid the man too. They paid him for his services, so I think that's a good move too. Now, as far as the Titans, it looked like they kind of went towards tackles and tight ends. I guess to give Derrick Henry more, blocking to run the ball. But the big signing out of that team would be Bud Dupree, actually.
Yeah, that was a hell.
And also Janoris Jenkins. That's a big move too. They got Jack.
He's actually washed. That's not that big of a move. He's washed. He's a nickel. He's a nickel at best, sir. He's a nickel corner at best. He's washed.
Wow. Now for the Denver Broncos, it looks like they go into their usual ways, just like the Patriots. Let's just focus on defense and just fuck my quarterback position. But they got Ronald Darby at cornerback. I think that's a good move. Also, Kyle Fuller. Mm-hmm. Kyle Fuller ended up going there. That we mentioned earlier went to the Broncos. The Chiefs, Taco Charlton is pretty much the biggest move they made to me so far.
Okay. I mean, no. They picked up that lineman. They picked up that lineman. Yeah. They no, not Cal Long. It's somebody else.
What's his name? Joe. It starts with a T.
Hold on, Chiefs.
I think it's Joe Tunney or something like that.
Hold on, I'll tell you in 1 second. Cal Long and Joe Thuney.
That's a decent move.
Yeah, got him from the Patriots. Yep, they was rebuilding that O-line. And they got Cal Long and then Taco Charlton. Blake Bell, he is a journeyman, but he re-signed. And then they got Mike Remmers, another offensive tackle. So they're trying to get Patrick Mahomes some help because I don't know if any of you all were living under a rock, but if you saw that damn Super Bowl, Mahomes had no time. Okay, none. That looked like honestly, that shit, that Tampa Bay defense looked like the damn, what was it, the 03 or 04 Patriots defense out there with Ty Law and Lawyer Malloy and Teddy Bruschi and Richard Seymour.
Like the 07 Giants, dude, when they had OC and Michael Strahan. But the crazy thing is, they say he broke the record for like most ready yards, like in the pocket. Like he ran for 500 yards.
Mm-hmm. Every time he snapped the ball, he just had to run around.
No, they said it looked like the little Giants. My man was like, "I'm gonna die."
Yep.
You like my man for the little Giants? That's what that is. And over to my city in Las Vegas, the Raiders. They do what they always do: sign everybody. They got Kenyon Drake as running back. Also, Theo Reddick is running back. So they got help for Jacobs. So he don't got to be on the field that much because, he looked like he was risking injury. And they also signed the piece of shit Richie Incognito. Yes, the piece of shit Richie Incognito. I don't know how the fuck he still got a job.
What did he do? Tell the people why he's a piece of shit.
Because all the racist comments and the bullying he did towards his teammate back in the day when he played for the Dolphins. He literally made that man retire. If you don't remember.
Yeah.
And also, that's pretty much it. The rest of them is just DNs and linemen. Hopefully they make a name for themselves. Now for the Chargers, by losing Hunter Henry, they did gain Jared Cook. Jared Cook is pretty decent.
He is. Big tall guy.
Yeah, but other than that, they got a good center in Corey Linsley. I mean, 5 years, $62 million.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna pay that ass, he better be a great lineman. All right, now let's go on to the division, which was deemed the worst in football last year, but I think they might be on the rise again this year because there's several decent teams. And with the Dallas Cowboys, we know Dak Prescott got his money, but we also re-signed Jordan Lewis. How do you feel about that move in particular?
I mean, it was just, how can I put this? It was easy money for Jerry. That's all. It was somebody that was cheap. He knows the system, and he's just going to follow suit.
And also, as of yesterday, I believe we just signed the safety for the not Denver Broncos, but for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
I guess he's quote unquote reunited with Dan Quinn. Like that fucking means something.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. His name is Keanu Neal. So here's the thing with him. Last year he had over 100. He had almost 100 tackles. Then the previous year he got hurt. And then in 2018 or 2017 is when he made the Pro Bowl. And that year he had like 124 tackles. He had a pick, pressures on the QB, things of that nature. This is, again, somebody who sounds like to me he's going to be another Roy Williams. I can't cover you, but I'll hit you, okay? That's it.
Not a man, Roy Williams.
That's exactly what he is.
Boy, where's the lay motherfuckers out there? All right, now let's go into the New York Football Giants. They got Kenny Golladay. What a move that was.
That's a hell of a move.
They also got John Ross, which is not a bad move as well.
You got a speedster that you could throw a screen to and just let him get down the field.
Yeah, if Saquon ain't willing to do it because he is coming off injury. Also, we got Cal Rudolph, which is not a bad move at all either.
You said we got Cal Rudolph or the Giants got Cal Rudolph?
The Giants got Cal Rudolph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Giants is making moves. And they also signed a backup just in case Daddy does fuck it up and Mike Glennon.
Mm-hmm. So Mike Glennon, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I think the Giants did a good job of. And I'll let you finish the division before I guess I give an overall grade on this one. But what I think we had was the Giants signed enough skill players where Saquon doesn't feel like 90% of the load is on my shoulders and I have to do everything. There are some other playmakers now because you still have Evan Ingram out there. And I think they signed a tight end as well. I can't remember. I think they did. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they signed it. Oh, yeah. Well, Cal Rudolph, exactly. So they signed Cal Rudolph as well. So now they're able to go with a 2 tight end system as well. And that should help open up some things between the tackles for Saquon to run. So with him not having to do so much now, this should allow him to preserve his health and be the star that everybody thinks that he can be.
Yeah, I think the NFC East will be quite competitive this year. I'm not going to lie to you. It's looking like that. I mean, the Eagles, we're not going to even mention them. They ain't do nothing. I mean, they did 3 signings so far, and none of them matter. But to get to the Washington football team, I guess the ultimate journeyman, Fitzmagic, actually went to the Washington football team. I do not get this decision. If you watch it right now, football team fans, formerly Redskins fans, please explain to me why did y'all sign Ryan Fitzpatrick when y'all signed the guy with the beer company already? I do not get this move at all. You're signing competition. And they both got paid. Yeah, Fitzpatrick got 1 year, $10 million. So that shows me he's going to probably be the starter after he signed the other dude like you believed in him. I don't get that move at all.
I mean, I get it. Here's the thing with the NFL moving to the new 17-game system, no player can play all 17 games. So what you don't want is that's why teams are starting to sign formidable backups and keep them there. What you don't want to happen is you don't want that extra game that your quarterback can't play to be like a preseason game. You want it to be competitive. You want your team to have a chance to win versus, oh, we're basically just forfeiting a game because our starter is out.
Makes a lot of sense. Also on that too, we got Lamar Miller. They signed him. He's pretty much a running back journeyman, about to become one. Also, at wide receiver, they got Curtis Samuel. Now he's reunited with Terry McLaurin. I think that's a good move too. I like Curtis Samuel over there. I like them. You got Ohio State at wide receiver, so that's a good one. Also, this might end up being a good move, but they do got the offensive guard Brandon. I don't want to say his name wrong. Is it Scherf? He actually got the franchise tag for them, so that's a decent move. Mm-hmm. And they look like they resigned a kicker, but that doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. Let's get on to the NFC North. Of course, we talked about it earlier. The stupid ass Chicago Bears signed Andy Dalton to 4 times more than their former quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, so he got his $10 million. Also, they gave the franchise tag to Allen Robinson. Why?
I mean, he's decent. Allen Robinson is a decent wide receiver. He's not trash. He's not great. He's kind of like one of those middle in the pack guys. As long as you can get the ball to him, he can make some plays. You just got to get it to him.
I give him credit for this. This is their big signing. They got Desmond Trufant. That's a good signing for them.
I'm sorry, Desmond Trufant. You talking about the corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that probably be their best signing. I think that might be the only decent signing they did. Other than that,
isn't he old though? I felt like he was getting burnt a lot last season. Let me just make sure, Desmond.
But this is my thing about the Bears, man. They just they always do enough so the organization can stay intact. Like last year, they should have won them that many games, and God knows they should have made the fucking playoffs. They just need to go 3-13, 4-12, and clean fucking house. The fucking coach need to go. The GM needs to go. They need a clean house there.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, Desmond Trufant, although like in 2020, he played 6 games, had 1 interception. Okay.
But that shows you the Bears organization is the worst in fucking football.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This was with Detroit. When his last year in Atlanta in 2019, he played 9 games. He did have 4 picks, though, but he ended up getting injured. The previous year, 2018, when he played all 16 games, he had 0 picks, okay? 0. So
how many tackles?
Let's see. He did have a career high in 66 tackles. No, actually, his career high was his rookie season with 70 combined. So he had 55 solo, 15 assists. So in 2018, he had 66. He was 4 shy of his career high. Here's the thing with him. He's been selected to 1 Pro Bowl in 8 seasons. He's nobody, okay? Exactly.
The Bears are nobody. The Bears are nobody. And I hope a Chicago fan listening right now. Clean house. Clean house, please.
I told you, it's just teams out there that just prefer to lose versus win. But go ahead, you continue.
I mean, that's the McCluskey family for your ass. Now, the Detroit Lions, the obvious, we know they got Jared Goff now. They also got Brashad Perryman, Tyrell Williams. That's a decent signing to me. That's pretty much about it over there as far as notable. The Green Bay Packers re-signed Aaron Jones. I give him that one because I thought he was going to go. So to re-sign Aaron Jones, I think that was a decent move for the Packers there. For the Vikings, they got Patrick Peterson to a 1-year, $10 million contract. How do you feel about Patrick Peterson overall? I guess when he get back on there, but the Vikings getting Patrick Peterson, I think that would be a decent move, especially for their secondary there. But at the end of the day, your quarterback is still Kirk, not my favorite Cousins. And we got to see what Kirk Cousins is going to do out there. But other than that, I think Patrick Peterson could be a good veteran piece to add to that secondary over there for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, let's get over to the NFC South here.
I'm going to be honest with you. The Green Bay Packers did nothing to help their chances of even getting back to the NFC Championship. Look for them to get knocked out in the divisional round, but continue.
Oh, let me ask you real quick. I just went through the Vikings. They got Patrick Peterson for a 1-year deal. How you feel about that?
He's washed. That's how I feel. Washed. Been washed. He's washed.
I still think he's a top 10 corner.
He's washed.
Hey, who knows? I think he's a top 10 corner.
He's like a name.
like
He's
8 or 10, 10.
He's like top 15 at this point.
That's
Top
still
15.
you're still better than most of the league. That's still decent. I give
Top
him
top 15, top 20.
that ain't bad. But
That is bad. That's bad when you're talking about a game changer as a corner. He's not, but he got a 1-year deal for a reason because, yeah, that's just who he is. He's a 1-year type of guy.
He's a 1 year.
He's a 1-year type of guy at this point.
Don't disrespect Patrick Peterson like that.
He's
he was
washed.
considered one of the best at one point. But
Earlier in his career, yes, but the last 3 to 4 years, he's been nothing. He's washed. But go ahead, continue.
Atlanta Falcons, they didn't do anything notable. Carolina Panthers, it looks like they went old tackle, old guard to kind of salvage their self, and they signed the receiver David Moore to a contract. Nothing notable there. Let's just continue. The New Orleans Saints.
Three are they going 4-13, 3-14? Honestly, I don't have them winning over 5 games this season, the Carolina Panthers. If they do, Vegas is involved at this point.
McCaffrey got to get the fuck up out of there.
He does. At this
point, he got to get the fuck up out of there. But the New Orleans Saints, they re-signed famous Jameis Winston. Drew Brees retired, is out the door. Also, running back, though, they did get Ty Montgomery. Hilarious, though, but he got $137,000 signing bonus.
Yeah, pretty much he's just there. He's just there to run trick plays. That's what Ty Montgomery is there for. He's there to run trick plays.
They already got that at quarterback, bro.
That's true. It Taysom Hill. You're right. But he's there to assist with trick plays, a couple reversals, things like that.
Word. All right, let's get to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as y'all like to affectionately call them, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They re-signed Chris Godwin, re-signed Rob Gronkowski, got Shaquille Barrett, re-signed Levante David. They also re-signed the kicker, re-signed Kevin Minter. So pretty much what they did is keep their team intact and gave the franchise tag to Chris Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing the same team next year. So
pretty much.
You better study the film well.
They won't, because it ain't going to be nothing they can do to stop them. It's nothing. AB will be more involved in the offense now because him and Tom will have an offseason together. It's going to get scary for the league. I told you all 13-3 next season. And NFC Championship appearance at least for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now, for the Arizona Cardinals, they did get receiver AJ. They got AJ Green out of hell. Thank God somebody got him out of that damn city and team.
Mm-hmm.
I know he was fucking so unhappy in Cincinnati. The hell can you? What's fun in Cincinnati? Crack.
Let me see.
Dope.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I don't know anything else that's like fun in Cincinnati.
Also, I mean, JJ Watt decided to make that move 2 years for $31 million. So he's there as well.
I mean, here's the thing. Cliff Kingsbury, young coach. He's supposedly a quarterback's coach and everything, and worked with Kyler Murray and everything in college. So guess what? This is the time. If they're going to make any type of noise, if they're going to do anything, this is the year.
Oh, yeah, this fits
too. That's what I'm saying. Yes. Yeah, it's Fitzgerald last season. You need to send him off correctly. JJ Watt, please play healthy and play inspired. And you still have D-Hop there. So, I mean, this is it for them. If they don't do anything with this team this year, they're done. They will be the Arizona Cardinals of old.
I think JJ Watt with Honey Badger, that's a good little 1-2 backfield front end.
I thought Honey Badger was a Kansas City Chief.
Oh, yeah. Did he go? Yeah, he did go to the Chief. My bad. Yeah. Tom Brady. Look at the score with your bitch ass.
Yeah.
I mean, the LA Rams, I mean, they did one move and one move only. Matthew Stafford went there. Trade via with Jared Goff. That's all they did there.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. They lost 2 good corners. They lost Troy Hill, and then they lost Josh Johnson. And both of them were dogs out there for the LA Rams. they must have something up their sleeve as far as the draft or somebody who's out there that they think is worth signing. But that's a huge blow.
It's a few first round prospects at corner in this year's draft. So
Yeah, so that's the only thing I could think of because you let go of two good corners, and I'm just like, wow, like that's huge.
I mean, and it was something to get signed too. So they ain't make a move there either.
Mm-hmm. They
So,
didn't.
so it'd be Cowboys versus Rams out there to try to get a corner. That's what you tell me.
Probably.
I mean, they got Golden though. At least they got Golden. We don't got shit.
Yeah, that's true.
We got
so
George
that means yeah. I mean, but what they've done at this point is they've left a vulnerability out there because we know that the quarterbacks aren't going to throw that much to Goatland's side. So hey, let me just pick on this other no-name corner. So I'm hoping that whoever this defensive coordinator is can cook up something where they are, I guess working out with. For those of you all who don't know, that's Jalen Ramsey. I hope they're working out with him, learning from him, learning his tendencies. But as I've told you all before, if the Rams don't at least make the NFC Championship this year, look for Jalen Ramsey to leave. Look for Goatland to leave. I think he's coming up in his contract year anyway with them from when he signed. So I think, or next year may be the contract year, but look for him to leave if they don't get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, LA too expensive to get stuck in.
Exactly. Exactly. Ask Dion.
All right, so San Francisco. I mean, they made a few moves. They got Trent Williams.
That's huge. That is
6
huge.
years for 138 million. Jesus.
The highest paid offensive. Yep, the highest paid offensive lineman in the history of the league. So salute to that.
Also, man, in the center position, they got Alex Mack, which is not a bad move. And they did sign Jason Verrett, the cornerback, and Emmanuel Mosley. So it looks like they're trying to keep that intact. So okay. I think but that's a huge move right there, Trent Williams. That's a huge move. All right, to get to Seattle, they didn't trade Russ. I keep trying to tell the world all that was clickbait. He ain't fucking going.
No, of course not. And they said it. They said the Chicago Bears offered something crazy. They offered them like 3 first-round picks, 2 second-rounders, and 2 starters off of their team. And Seattle said no.
That's what I'm saying. They playing. They playing. They ain't want to get rid of him. And on top of that, but that's just even further indictment to the Bears. They should have just kept, after they said no, just keep bitch. What the fuck are you doing? Signing the Cowboys back up. Like he fucking did something when Dak went down. At all. Like
yeah,
the
he did do something.
Carrying his ass. If you don't look at the yards they had.
He did something. He went down just like Dak did in that damn Washington game. Got his ass knocked out.
Fucking terrible organization. All right, well, Seattle Seahawks, they re-signed Chris Carson. So, I mean, that's the only thing really notable. And trade with the Las Vegas Raiders, they ended up getting offensive guard Gabe Jackson.
Yay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what they did there. And that wraps
Seattle.
up.
Look for another average season. Go ahead.
Pretty much. And that wraps up pretty much the whole NFL as far as free agency right now as we gear up for the NFL draft here upcoming.
Okay. All right. So now that we got that out the way, let's go back to Houston. Houston, we have a problem. All right. Deshaun Watson, yes, the accusers are up to 12 now. So for those of you all that don't know or who's been living under a rock, starting from ever since the season ended, Deshaun Watson went to the Houston organization. He asked for more input in head coach selections and personnel decisions. They told him, yes, we will give you that. However, they reneged on it and didn't interview the coach that he wanted, which was Eric Bieniemy. So he felt disrespected by the Houston organization. For those of you all that don't know, Eric Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator of the prolific Kansas City Chiefs. From there, he went to he pretty much put it out there that he will not be suiting up at all. So he will not be suiting up for the Houston Texans. He is prepared to sit out since they're not accepting any trades for him. And out of the woodwork comes multiple women accusing him of sexual assault. All of these women worked at massage parlors, and they said that, Deshaun is like, when he was setting up appointments and everything, he was a little flirtatious with setting up the appointments. And then when he got in the room, he demanded different things. I was actually able to read one of the alleged victims' stories, and she said something about he told her to just like focus on his thighs because that's where he was having the pain. And then from focusing on his thighs, he then, pulled the towel all the way down and, coerced her, or as she put it, he forcefully asked her for oral sex until she gave in. And at that point, which she did. And then once he was finished, he got up, put on his clothes, and left. The problem with this is a lot of the victims, they do have similar stories. And some people are creatures of habit. They are. With the type of work that I do, you're trained to look at people's traits, their characteristics, and their behavior patterns. And a lot of times, people are creatures of habit. So they all have a similar story. But it's just mighty convenient that the lawyer who's representing majority of these women is actually neighbors with the Houston Texans owner. Mr. Jones, how do you feel about it?
Wow, I didn't know that detail.
Mm-hmm.
It almost is like, if you play, we'll make it go all the way. Doesn't sound like he said he telling Deshaun Watson. Because all of a sudden, Deshaun Watson became Randy Watson out here, sexual chocolate. Like that shit is crazy. He don't even look like the guy that'd be into doing that shit. Now, come on, you got money, a rubber tug. That's pretty much status quo. But
here's what I will say. Sorry to cut you off. Here's what I will say. Here on the TMS show, we take all violent crimes against women, children,
very seriously.
We take it very serious. And although Deshaun doesn't look like that type,
he can be.
He can. Anybody can. You know what I mean? When you look at some of these documentaries and some of these people who led cults and who led these sex cults and everything, they didn't look like that they were capable of doing it. They look like the dorky weirdos that, you just say, hey, shut the F up and go stand in a corner and they'll do it. So the fact that they were able to influence people to do these things, it amazes you. But to me, man, it just sounds mighty fishy. But go ahead, Mr. Jones.
No, it sounds rather convenient as far as timing is concerned. Now, if it's proved to be true and there's facts and everything behind it, fuck him.
Yep.
Simple as that. Fuck him. He deserved to go in jail and max with all the real ones. He deserved to get whatever consequences come. But it just seemed mildly convenient that all of this is happening right when he wants to control his own destiny.
And here's what I will say, just to play devil's advocate. So when you work for an organization, when you play by their rules, you get what I mean? So it's either two things that's happening here. Either one, the organization is pissed that this is what's going on and Watson doesn't want to play for them. And so they've decided to discredit his character. Or the other thing is they knew about these things, covered it up. And then when he's acting like I'm Mr. Big and Bad and I have all the leverage and I don't want to play for you anymore, they throw this out there. But Deshaun Watson seems like a smart, responsible guy. So I think if all of these things were going on, I think he would have just played for the Houston Texans and just sucked it up and just got his, and just got his paycheck. But those are one of the two scenarios, because I've sat in the rooms where we've had to make employment decisions, and because an employee is a good employee and they do this and they do that right, certain things get swept under the rug that they do.
Yes. Trust me, I know. Yes.
Yeah. Certain things get swept under the rug.
Yeah, you stole $20. That ain't bad. Just don't steal
exactly.
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 It's madness at the end of the day. It's too early to tell. It's too early to really take a side or anything yet. But the timing just seems so conveniently. That's all I'm gonna say. And that causes room for suspicion.
Exactly.
That is bull. But at the end of the day, you can't call that bullshit till it's actually proven it's bullshit.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. So, one of the things that I hear a lot of people saying, or a lot of people doing, is they say, "Hey, why are they only going after him civilly instead of criminally? And all they want is money." It still doesn't mean that it didn't happen. The thing is, in a civil suit, there's less burden of proof needed in order to win versus in a criminal suit. In a criminal suit, it has to be beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt that this person did this. But what the lawyer did say is they have more women that are speaking out, and they are trying to create a criminal probe so they can forward all this information to Houston Police Department so they can so they can launch a criminal investigation.
But this almost sounds like on a lighter scale Bill Cosby all over again. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. If the Houston Police Department does a full scope of everything and they investigate and they see that, hey, Deshaun Watson did no wrong, at this point, you got to call bullshit on the Houston organization. And if that's the case, I'm going to be honest with you.
They asked to go to jail.
I was about, not only should they go to jail, honestly, that owner should be forced to sell.
Yeah.
The owner of the Houston Rockets the Houston Texans should be forced to sell that team.
Because, at this point, it's like, when are the false accusers gonna get actual penalty? You still go home, live embarrassment, change your Facebook name and Instagram name and all of that. It's still live your life.
Yeah, like this man will forever be looked at side-eye.
It's almost like school. Like when two people get into a fight at school, the one who's instigating get as many days as the one fighting. It should be just like school.
Yep.
Because if you're going to initiate it and nothing happened and you possibly ruined this man's livelihood, I think you should get the same amount of time. It should be like a false rape charge or something like that. Seriously.
No, it really should.
It's getting out of hand.
Or you should be able to sue them civilly for defamation of character and then get a judgment and then start garnishing their wages.
I mean, that's one of the many, many, many million billion double standards of America, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. You can't go after them civilly. I don't think that it's criminal charges, but you can go after them civilly for defamation of character.
Just like domestic violence in a way. I'm not gonna go too far off topic. Like somebody in the NFL, NBA may hit his wife, like Ray Rice. His career is over, but Brittany Griner could beat the shit out her wife or girlfriend and play in the WNBA the next season. The shit is crazy. It's such a double standard.
Well, it is, and then how can I put this? It's not fair because you're right. It is a double standard.
Yeah, domestic violence is domestic violence, man.
It is, but at the same time, what you look at is the larger scale and the larger. Because remember, Roger Goodell wasn't even going to suspend Ray Rice. He gave him one game, and then once the video got released, then Roger Goodell said, "Oh shit! All right, I'm caught. Now I have to suspend you indefinitely." And then Ray Rice ended up never getting another job.
And don't get me wrong, I don't condone either one of them. I think both of them should be out of their respective leagues, to be honest with you. But it just shows you some of the many double standards of there, because there were pictures of the other incident. Brittany Griner putting hands on her. And she's 7 foot tall and could dunk. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. But just to end everything, man, I just hope the truth really comes out. That's all I can say right now. I hope we get the truth.
I hope we get the truth as well. It's just one of those things. Go ahead.
Yeah, if it's not in his favor and he did do it, fuck him. If it is in his favor, get him the fuck out of there ASAP because he deserves it.
Oh, of course. And what needs to happen is he needs his full contract from the Houston Texans, and then whoever he goes to needs to give him more money on top of that. And if they don't do it that way, or if things can't work that way, then Deshaun Watson needs to sue the Houston Texans organization, because this is where this is coming from, or sue each and every one of those accusers. Because now here's another thing too, what the lawyer is saying. And my thing is, it's weird to me. I feel like if you had it, then you would just release it. But they're claiming, this is what they're speculating or claiming, that they have text messages of Deshaun Watson apologizing to one of the accusers for acting inappropriately.
But that could be anything. That could be flirting.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. He could be apologizing for flirting. Like if she said no, like I'm not that type of person or I'm not that type of girl and I can't accept your money. Okay, I apologize for disrespecting you in that way.
Is he married?
No, Deshaun Watson is single.
Damn, that might hurt. But yeah, PR wise, that hurts. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? At least God rest his soul when Kobe went through his ordeal, you know what I mean? Part of the PR move was to apologize to his wife and give her the rock. That really did help.
It did. It helped a lot.
That Vanessa stayed, but all right, let's move on from here, man. Before we get into the NBA news, I do want to mention something about NCAA and basketball in general. Did you see the Instagram video with the female NCAA player showing the difference in the weight rooms and breakfast between the females and the males? Did you see that?
I saw it.
What is your thoughts and feelings on that? I think it's utter bullshit, and it just shows more about the crooked organization of the NCAA.
I mean, it goes. Here's the thing, sir. It pretty much goes to show you what's happening with the disparity of male and female sports. At the end of the day, the sport that generates more money, they get top of the line equipment. The ones that don't, they get bullshit.
I mean, you see the difference though, and then the excuse that the NCAA made. They was like it wasn't enough space there. They had just as much space as the men's, man.
Exactly, and you put
they couldn't even get exercise bikes. They got a weight set like I have in my house. Seriously, in my house, they had the same exercise equipment. That's terrible. They're world-class athletes too.
They are.
Some of the best NCAA players of all time are women. Your Cheryl Millers of the world, your Diana Taurasi's of the world, Rebecca Lobos of the world. Shall I continue? They're some of the best athletes ever in NCAA history. They do not deserve. And did you see the breakfast? Like the men's got a whole little buffet. The women get jail trays. Jail trays to eat for breakfast. They might as well go out to Wendy's. Wendy's got bomb breakfast, by the way. They might as well go out to Wendy's and get breakfast. Like this shit is terrible. And then to finish that off, not to go too far off topic again, the NBA. So Shaq and Candace Parker actually went in a little back and forth on inside the NBA. Shaq suggested that the WNBA should lower the rims a little bit so they can have more entertainment by dunking more and everything. And Candace Parker, like, nah. Like she actually felt kind of disrespected that happened. So let me ask you this. Do you think that's a good idea, Shaq make it, or it's just another way of men showing, I guess, chauvinistic ways when it comes to sports?
I don't even think it's chauvinistic. I think Shaq's heart was in the right place. I do feel like that the women's basketball needs to be a little bit more entertaining. Like here's the thing, it takes a special guru of the sport of basketball to genuinely enjoy watching a lot of women's basketball. You get what I'm saying? Like the casual basketball fan is not going to go and turn on NCAA women's basketball or WNBA. Or WNBA. They're going to cut on. They want to see LeBron. They want to see KD. They want to see Kyrie and Giannis and Joel and those guys. So I think to capture the casual fan, you do need more exciting stuff. And one of the things that we always appreciate about the NBA is somebody getting crossed up and then somebody just going and just dunking on somebody. You don't have that with the WNBA because of how high the rim is. I get what Candace Parker is saying, but Candace Parker.
I mean, it's just like athletics and genetics. Eventually, women will be doing that soon. They will, but they have to train.
They are, but at the end of the day, for right now, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to lower it so you can have more that are dunking because Candace Parker, everybody's not 6'10 plus like you are. They're not. And so when you have these women that can't really dunk and all they doing is layups, people are just like, all right, I mean, this is okay, but Let me go. Let me turn on my
Here's
video.
the thing, though. One thing I guess women are known for is having great jump shots and fundamentals. Lowering the rim, they're gonna have to change their whole form and everything.
That's true too.
Like it's almost a disadvantage to actually lower the rim at this point.
Yeah,
but I mean, look, the WNBA.
I get what Shaq is saying.
Seasons. Yeah, I see what he said too, because it would actually be kind of more entertaining. Like it would be crazy if a chick went down the lane and windmilled it. It will be crazy. But at the same time, it's like, really? Because I like one thing I could definitely get from the women is how to play basketball still, fundamentals. They don't shoot damn threes and stuff all the time. They actually run good offensive and defensive sets and get open and shoot mid-range jumpers. Some people do miss that aspect of the game, but I agree with you. For the casual fans, it's not the most entertaining product. But, I mean, is there anything really to talk about March Madness in general other than Ohio State stinking it up?
Yeah, one of the things to talk about is this, sir. There are no more perfect brackets. There are none. They're all done. So literally you have so you have all of these lower seeds now. You have like VCU, they didn't even get to play because of COVID protocol. So they sent like a 13th seed to the next round. Hold on, let me see the upsets right now. Hold on, because I want to be correct when I say this. March Madness.
Damn, shout out to VCU.
Yeah, so like you still have Loyola in it. Syracuse, which is number 11, they're in it. ACU, I don't even know, Abilene Christian University, they upset number 3 Texas. Okay, they were the 14th seed.
Is that a new college? Is that
no? It's just no. It's just one in it's one in Texas. That's all. Like you have all of these low seeds. Oral Roberts ended up upsetting somebody. They're the 15th seed. North Texas upset someone. They're the 13th seed. So you have all of these lower seeds right now that are still hanging around in the tournament. And like you said, Vegas wins again. Like people's brackets are messed up. Everything. Like it's crazy to me.
That's wow. Are you serious?
Yep.
I mean, I guess this is good for college basketball in general because it surprises and what I mean. It's no favor just running through everybody, but at the same time, come on, man. Because 95% already lost when Ohio State lost. 95% was already gone. That's crazy, though.
Yeah,
but it just shows you, man. It's really no powerhouses in the NCAA no more.
No, it's really not. And honestly, it's like a level playing field at this point. And like me, I mean, I'm close to just like logging in. I think I got a couple teams that I think that could be Cinderellas that I'm just going to put some money on and just ride out for the rest of the tournament. Now, I think that we will get closer to like some more chalks as we get to like the Elite 8 or the Final 4. But for right now, like this early and then like the Sweet 16 and all of that, you're going to see some more bullshit. You are.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sad part is it still ain't invested me to watch that shit.
No. I was about to say, to me, like, here's the thing. We're in these times where, as far as college sports, I don't know if it's because of the decline of video games. I don't know if it's because of the decline of, I guess overall like media awareness of it. But we're in this time where, I guess because of the one and done era in basketball and everything, like I'm just not generally excited. Like I'm not genuinely excited about college sports, period, on the football or basketball. Like there's not a star that I'm just like, oh, you know what? I can't wait till they get to the league. You know what I mean? Like back in our day, we wanted to see what Braylon Edwards was going to do when he got out of Michigan. We wanted to see what Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush was going to do when they got to the league. We wanted to see what Vince Young was going to do when he got to the NFL. We wanted to see what people like Jay Williams, the people like your De'Aaron Foxes, like we wanted to see some of these prolific stars, your Juan Dixons, your Shane Battiers, your Carlos Boozers, your even Adam Morrison, yeah, JJ Redick. Like, we wanted to see what these stars were going to do, and then I just think that because of some of them has just given like these lackluster performances when they got to the pros, we're just sitting there and we just kind of just like, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
like
the
it's
one and done rule kind of ruined it a lot too, because there's no like prolific institutions anymore, and you know a lot of the top stars they're gonna be in the NBA next season. So fuck it. Like, why are we gonna watch it at this point? I don't know. And then as far as college football, it's the same team. It's starting to become the same teams every year. You're guaranteed to see a Clemson team. You're guaranteed to see an Alabama. It's not enough. It's not enough parity with that. Like, if they're going to do a tournament in the NCAA, 4 teams is not enough. They need at least 16, 32 maybe.
Of course they do.
That's what makes it more interesting. They need more people. If they're going to keep the tournament format, they need more. They need more teams. It's not enough teams. Because we're just going to see the same 4 every year. We're guaranteed to have at least 1 or 2 out the Big Ten. We're guaranteed to have somebody out the SEC. Like, they got to do more. They got to do more. And honestly, the kind of video games, yes, it kind of falters them as far as following the sport. I mean, they made an announcement with EA Sports. They're going to bring back college football. You're just going to have to wait a couple of years, but it is coming back.
Yeah, I think that's another problem too, because just being able to buy the video game, going online, downloading the rosters and everything, and then being able to play as those players, you know what I'm saying? Being able to play as the Julius Hodges and the, like you said, the JJ Redicks, just being able to play as all those things, that mystique is gone now. And so now it's just kind of just like, all right, I'll wait till they get to the league to see what they're going to do. Like, honestly, I don't know who's going to be the face of the NBA once Kevin Durant decides to tone it down and retire. Luckily, Kyrie is still young, but we've said it here on the show. Kyrie Irving is probably going to give the league 3 to 4 years because he's just sick of all of the other bullshit and he wants to make a change in the community.
I could see that, like, if we're going to talk about possible candidates, I know we're talking early. Zion could definitely be one.
Okay.
LaMelo Ball, I mean, he's rookie. He already got rookie of the year. That's that. Like, the dude is balling. LaMelo Ball could definitely be one too, because he got the image and personality as well. So I can see LaMelo Ball. I can see Zion Williamson. I mean, the kid Edwards from Minnesota, he just dropped 40 the other night. That dude can ball as well. So it is young hoopers out there. It's just all about image at this point, which I think they're going to force feed. They force feeding the Zion already. So Zion, I think he could do it as long as he don't get in trouble. Yeah, and LaMelo, we already know that young dude got the personality. We seen him on Monday Night Raw talking about get that nigga.
Exactly. So yeah, so he does have the personality, but I guess here's what I would want to happen. I need for it to be that person who's going to be able to dominate the league and win a couple of championships. If it's literally going to turn into the NCAA, where it's like we're going to get a different team in the finals every single year, I mean, in a way it's fun, but in a way it's not, because you got to have a dominant team. And I feel like the Brooklyn Nets are probably the last of that team. And then after that, like what? Like, I guess maybe Giannis, Joel, and LaMelo all get together and assemble a team together to just like run the league. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Well, honestly, I hope they keep beef. I hope they all stay at their teams and we have some fucking rivalries. We don't have no rivalries in the NBA.
It's not. Honestly, we have more player rivalries than team rivalries, and
we don't even have many of that because after the offseason, we catch them partying together all the time.
Somewhat, but
what player rivalries we have that's legit?
Hold on, we got a comment. Okay. Maybe Giannis. I don't know though. Okay, yeah.
I mean, he got his Nike deal.
Yeah,
that's always
the
rivalry.
A good here's what I will say. I guess if we had to talk about it, hold on. Let me put up this right here.
So Giannis got to win.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, he has to win.
That's why he got to win.
Yeah, I guess the only rivalry that we would still have would be maybe a KD versus LeBron. But since we're going to talk about LeBron, let's talk about the injury that he suffered. High ankle sprain, and it did not look good from the video. The guy literally fell on his ankle. But I think where I got to call bullshit on this, and you cannot tell me that this is not about stats, is you had the high ankle sprain, but then you come in to shoot a three so you can get 10 points. But this will mark 1,026 games in a row that you've been in double figures, that you've played. What was the point of that?
To catch Jordan. Let's keep it real. Because I think it went from like World Be Free to 86 to like 2001 for Jordan, if I'm not mistaken. Because Jordan went from 86 to 2001 pretty much without a game less than 10 points. So he's chasing Jordan still. It's about the records. You can't tell me nothing different. But you know the funny part about it is Kobe would have still played. Kobe would have took a game off.
Oh, well, here's the
thing.
My
ankle sprain is kind of severe, but it's not like excruciating enough for you to really take like weeks off. They talking about 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, we know why he's doing that, because AD isn't fully healed. Let's just be real. Let's cut the bullshit. Like I told you all in the group message that we had. Let's cut that bullshit. We know that he does not want to play without AD. The world is coming down on his shoulders right now without AD. He has to carry that team. So now if he sits out and in 4 to 6 weeks, AD finally decides to come back, but the team is like an 8th seed, he could finally try to play hero ball. And depending on what it's looking like with the remaining schedules, him or AD might not even come back. They may just scrap it. I'm just laughing at all these people that are sitting up here. Oh, they're going to be back for the playoffs and all that. Let the Lakers go on a slide when they're not winning. His ass ain't coming back. This will be like his first year. This will be like his first year with the goddamn Lakers where, oh, I'm hurt and all that. And, oh, I'm about to sit out. And,
but
oh,
it's
look,
crazy, though. You start to see his mortality. Like, it might be closer to retirement time for him. And we might gotta have that conversation, like how we sum up his career and legacy, because he's starting to get injuries now and out for a significant time. This is what, second time in 3 seasons. He was the Iron Man before that, so it's kind of like, oh my god, he's really about to start thinking about retirement. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When he does retire, though, it's gonna be weird. The NBA is gonna be weird without him that first season. Because he's been here so long.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, I don't even think it's weird. I think we could do without him. As long as we got Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, I'm good with that.
Kawhi ain't doing shit, though, man. He fell right back. He right back under the cracks. Like, come on,
man. Which is good. Because here's the thing. It's not like the Clippers record is trash. I can tell you right now.
No, they're decent. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, you will forget about him because he doesn't say anything. It's like that dude that chills in the back of the room.
That's true.
And honestly, we forced Kawhi to be a star. Us, the public, we forced him to be a star. Honestly. I mean, he had that run with the Raptors and all that, but we kind of forced him to be the star, which I don't think he ever wanted to be or has the capability of being.
Here we go. You know what? We were going to bring him on for Justice League, but we got our brother back on the goddamn show. All right. Bring your ass up, Jesus. All right. Hate.
I hear you over there, Bug Nasty MT. You know what I mean? As long as we got KD and Kawhi. Come on, man. I don't want to hear that. You know, damn well the game going to be a little bit different, man. It's going to be a little... Something gonna be missing once that man retired. Trust me.
It ain't nothing gonna be missing but excuses. That's it. There won't be any more excuses. I'm sick of the foolishness. I don't even know,
man. I'm trying to tell you, people gonna step their game up. It's not gonna be any more, tremendous flops. More going on your side though, yeah. But other than that, though, man, like just his legacy though. Other than the crying and all that, I mean, the man's still a GOAT though, man. So you gotta give a GOAT respect.
He is. I give him that. He is. I give him that.
Yeah, man. What is going to be his career after retirement, though? That's my thing.
I say movies and music, even though hopefully he doesn't rap, but I think he'll be involved in music.
I mean, he the one that first brought up the deluxe version, and the whole world's doing it. I give him that credit. He the first one to talk about the deluxe shit with 2 Chainz album.
It was kind of dope. I just don't want him rapping because I heard him rap, and that shit is horrible. That's like Kobe back in the day rapping. RP.
Oh my god! Look, it's Dave Dollars and nobody else.
That's it.
Yeah, just saying.
Hey, first of all, y'all better put some respect on Shaquille O'Neal's name, okay? Platinum album, Shaquille O'Neal. Exactly.
He said 2 times. Over how long? No, I'm just saying. How many Chinese sub shops were they playing Shaquille O'Neal music? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hey,
that they put on there.
Can I stop the coldest beats?
Hold on. We can't talk about the Chinese shops now, okay? We can't. All right, this is not the time. This is not the time or the place.
I got you.
All right, Eddie. Leave Eddie Leonard out of this, sir. Leave Eddie Leonard out of this.
You know, you walk into Danny's, you hear that Shaq Fu playing in the background.
Stand to deliver like shit. But biological, it bother.
The fact, here's what's crazy to me though. The fact that he had the nerve to remake that game so it was on like next generation platforms. I said this is one of the boldest motherfuckers out there.
No, and I was one of the fools that wanted it for Christmas as a kid.
Oh, I got it for Christmas as a kid.
I wanted that shit too, yeah.
No,
I wanted the shoes and all that.
I got it. And I remember when I went to when it was Funko Land for all my, you know what I'm saying, my mature folks out there, when it was Funko Land and not GameStop, because it was ass. Yep. And when I went to trade it in, they told me they'd give me 10 cents for it. At that point, I knew that game was ass. 10 cents.
Remember how they had the large list of games like you can get that was like under $1? That was definitely on there. I was like, all right, let me get that. All right, 20 cents. All right, cool. Get me that cartridge real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and shack it up at home.
And then get a hammer and break that shit because that game was so fucking broken.
It was. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think I got past like the 3rd level.
Because there was this one Asian dude that was like a hell of a cheat code. Like he was like Ken Ryu and Akuma mix. That shit was crazy with a sword. How the hell is your game? You're not even the best person. That's what I know.
Just like the streets of rage.
His body was dominated. Like no, Shaq used to get dogged. I mean, like.
He did. He was ass.
But yeah, man. You think the Lakers done? I'm asking both of y'all that.
They're done for this season, yes. They're done. It won't be a finals. I didn't want it to be this way, but it won't be a finals for them.
So how long are they talking? Is he out indefinitely? Because I heard he was out for like the rest of the season.
They said it definitely, but a high ankle sprain is going to usually take about 4 to 6 weeks to heal.
It's kind of late already. Yeah, I don't see them making the playoffs either. So yeah, they might be done. I don't know though. Let me watch the next maybe week worth of games.
Because who's going to take over? Who's going to be the man? Kyle Kuzma got to step up. But he going to have like 30. Because you see how terrible their defense is communicating and shit with LeBron on the court.
But he's off the court, so that man in communication might go up.
That's true.
Like we all seen it. The Wizards, like when John Wall was out hurt, like they start winning games, and he was
that is true.
So we'll see. I mean,
speaking of the Wizards, they kind of piss me off. They beat all the great teams, but can't beat a fucking sorry team to save their life.
Which is true.
They beat Brooklyn twice. They beat your Phillies of the world, but can't beat like a sorry ass team. This shit is crazy. I just don't get it. All right. Let's get into the shits.
Let's get into the shit.
Until you gonna kick it off.
So here's what we're gonna do. Absolutely. So for those of y'all that don't know, HBO Max, okay, they released this Thursday. Yeah, it was this past Thursday, the 18th. Zack Snyder's cut for Justice League. I know Mr. Jones was talking about how he didn't want them to shrink it down. I think he was talking about this on last week's show, how it may go down to 2.5 hours, but I'm glad they released the entire 4 hours director's cut of it. So overall, gentlemen, what were your thoughts on this movie?
242 minutes later.
Right.
What you think, Zeus? I'll let you kick it off, brother.
Oh man, I don't know if you want me to kick it off. All right, so the movie was good. I wouldn't say great. Now, only reason from my perspective of not great, and I don't want all the DC haters to go ahead and come out here. And I should actually tag one of my mans. I'm gonna probably get him to come, get in the comments a little bit. But just with that, because I seen the first movie, right? Okay. And comparing it to movies that's 4 hour long movies, it's like, okay, they dragged it out and detailed it too much. Like the action was still there, but it didn't increase the action as much to me. So it was more of just story plotting, and they're going through chapters. Like it felt like I was playing a video game and watching it at the same time.
Playing Injustice 2.
Right. I was playing Injustice 2, and without fighting, I was just going through the cutscenes. Like that's what it was. It was just developing each character and putting it in. Now, if they would have did that in 2 hours and 30 minutes or so, or maybe even 3, that extra hour matters. I probably would say this was a phenomenal movie. Just because it was 4 hours, they should have been a 2-part, because that would have left suspense for the second.
Okay. Now, go ahead, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, but you made an important part. If you've seen the first one and you watch this, you're like, yeah, I can see the improvement of it. But one thing about it that I am concerned about is, like Zeus said, they went in too much detail with everybody's storyline. It should have been certain people they didn't need go that much detail into, because of this simple fact. They're never going to have a solo movie.
Like who?
Like, I get why they did Flash, because Flash is going to be the next DC solo movie probably.
I doubt it.
Cyborg, I ain't gonna lie, he benefited the most. Cyborg's story was dope. I really like Cyborg's story on that one.
Can I just interject and say something? Thank you, Zack Snyder, for not contributing to the negative stereotypes of the Black community. Thank you for having a Black man that, even though he faced neglect, he came from a successful family, and there was a white man whose dad was in jail versus the Black man's dad being in jail. Thank you, Zack Snyder, for that. But go ahead.
Man. Man. You know what?
Yeah. Also, I really like the development of Batman becoming, because Batman's a selfish son of a bitch. Let's be honest. It's kind of good to actually see Batman, I guess, take on, for you Marvel fans, the Iron Man role of being the leader and getting everybody together. And another thing I can appreciate is how you found more about Aquaman's character, like how he didn't really like, how he didn't like Atlantis and his resistance.
The Atlanteans.
And then finally joining. I did like the storytelling developments on that. But what made the Avengers work and what made this kind of fall a little bit flat is everybody has a purpose in Avengers, because everybody has a solo movie pretty much, or a TV series. Now with this, it's like some people, like I said, they're never going to get their solo movie and they never going to get that shine. So it's like you're almost teasing me, giving me their backdrop and storyline, because it's never going to be more towards it. That was just one of my concerns about it. But other than that, I think it was a good movie, great storytelling. 4 hours felt like a breeze to me. I mean, it's not Heat or Goodfellas or something like that. But
Goodfellas was only about almost 3 hours. That's all it was. So I can watch Goodfellas consecutively.
Yeah, I think the only movies that's really long in that is what? Once Upon a Time in America and the 10 Commandments.
No, what was it? I think it was what? Titanic and Avatar?
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, that was about 3.5.
But for the most part, I thought it was good. And shout out to Darkseid and them. Like, they had some good villains on there. Not gonna lie.
I was about to say that. So it's a couple things that I want to point out. And you all can correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't indulged in the comics, but I've spoken with people who've indulged in the comic book and everything. So before we get to that aspect, first of all, one of the things I'm going to say that I didn't like about this movie, is why do we have to have the slow dramatic opera singers every time Wonder Woman did a special move on attack on somebody? Oh, like we didn't need that every single time that she did something.
Well, she was fucking shit up too.
She
like,
was,
it was
but we
great. It
didn't need
wasn't
that every
PG-13.
time. But we didn't need that every time she was going to do a move or go do an attack. We didn't need that.
So when you seen that, you didn't feel like, oh shit, she about to fuck some shit up.
I did, but the problem is there was like 1 or 2 instances where she didn't because Superman slapped the shit out of her, or Steppenwolf slapped the shit out of her. You know what I'm saying?
It was one of those parts. Yeah, I seen that.
Exactly. That was dumb as hell. Exactly. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Fortune. So that I didn't care for. Like I said, I appreciate Zack Snyder not enforcing the reinforcements. I mean, the negative stereotypes about people of color. What I appreciated was the villains. Steppenwolf, he was definitely ruthless. Darkseid was also ruthless in there as well. Like you could just tell, like if they was to battle Thanos wouldn't even stand a chance against them.
That's what makes that's why I fucking hate the Avengers, because that's really bullshit. Because Thanos would dog them for real. But that's another story.
Oh, whoa. First of all, so you don't know what you're talking about. Y'all take that.
Yes, back. If you look at the comic books, the melted Wolverine.
Thanos is not
the Silver Surfer to beat him.
Dog, Thanos is not really like if you compare him to Darkseid, then there's no comparison. Okay. There's no comparison.
All right,
trust me.
Okay.
All right. I mean, we can say that for another day.
Because we can say that. I'm talking about the comic book version, not the
comic book version,
movie version.
No, not the movie version. The comic book version. Thanos some shit. I mean, he ruthless in the movie. I mean, not the movie, but the comic books. Yeah, they portrayed him as a bitch in the movies. Like he was all gauntlet. Like without that gauntlet, he still is like phenomenal. But
Endgame was definitely booty. I fell asleep on it. Never even finished it. But go ahead.
I'm glad we all agree with that one.
Yeah,
you hear a lot of Marvel fans. This ain't better than the worst Marvel movie. It's better than more than half of the Marvel movies.
It is definitely better. Than
Marvel. Sometimes Marvel is on the edge of overrated to keep it 100. But that's another story. Continue.
But here's the problem that I have, and correct me if I'm wrong with this, because again, I don't follow the comics. But from what I'm hearing from a lot of people who do is, there's not going to be a part 2 to this Justice League. So we're not going to be able to see what Darkseid and everything is doing and how Batman and Joker is going to team up, because what is his name? Robert Pattinson now is going to be the new Batman, and they're basically going to start over. So to me, I got to call out Warner Brother executives and DC Comics, because here you tease us with good movies and then you fuck us over and then start everything over. Like Joker, there's no reason why there shouldn't be another Joker movie, or you combine Joker with Joaquin Phoenix with Batman. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. But I'm hearing we're not going to get that. So it's like, what the fuck is going on in the DC universe?
To answer your question,
it's good to see Jared Leto.
It's the universe thing. That's what I want to say. I think it's the universe thing. So like how you said, the new Batman, I think that'll probably be with Jaquan. What is his name? Jaquan Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. All right. So yeah, I forgot to put the wall on there. But anyway, so I think in that universe, they will have a separate entity and storyline versus this storyline with the Suicide Squad and that Joker that played at the end. So they'll probably be totally different. Now, I agree with you of them not having number 2, but if the fans urge for it, I wouldn't put it past they can do it, because that was set up like Justice League Apocalypse, and then they can throw in Constantine. And if they come out with a Constantine movie that does way better, that's really on par, then they can actually start the dark series of the DC universe. And then that sets up literally how this was, where the Flash was in the end game of like basically Darkseid took over the Earth, and they can set it up that way.
I mean, well, here's the thing. Just for the comments from Bree. First of all, it's imperative that you understand it all comes down to dollars in that sense. Joker was a great movie. It made a lot of money. Same thing with this Justice League. People are going to watch it. And the fact that it's so long, Now you're going to cause for people to stream it multiple times because they're trying to break it up because they don't have the time to sit there for 4 straight hours. So the money is there, but I still just don't understand why we just can't continue it, because I want to see how Batman and Joker is going to team up. But can I just say something real quick? First off, Jared Leto, I get it. He was the Joker, but that little part that he had in there was absolutely fucking horrible compared to Joaquin and Heath. Can we just admit that?
It was something, because his only other appearance was like 2 minutes in the Harley Quinn movie, Suicide Squad.
I wouldn't really compare that to that, right? I would say comparing it to the Suicide Squad, it was way better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He acted the whole time. Like that little scene was way better than everything that he did in playing the Joker. Then I could probably say that he did step his game up.
Yeah,
he did. I don't know, but he just sounded like He just sounded like an imitation Michael Jackson in this Justice League movie. Like it was just yeah, like it just wasn't. I was just sitting there and I was like, y'all can't just call Joaquin and say, hey, look, man, we need you for 15 minutes. Here's a couple million. Like, do the shit. Like, I don't know. And again, it's because I'm not into the comics where I don't understand all the different universes.
I think the period that came out, Jared Leto was still Joker and Ben Affleck was still Batman. When the time the original came out. Because all it is an extension of the original Justice League.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that was that was actually a favorable question from like a lot of fans or people just watch the movie in general. Like, why didn't they incorporate the new Joker with this one? And it's just like, well, you got to think about the time frame. Like, we did have the original movie was shit, and
it was
this
horrible.
is why I can say for the 4, even though I disagree with it, but I can say I can see why they did it, because the first movie was so skip forward into everybody's background, and this actually what Fortune 500 said, it gave character development that was worth seeing, because it was a lot of things that we was like, okay, what does this even mean? All right, why did the Flash even come back in time? Like, who is the fucking like, who is the cyborg? Like, what is this backstory? Like, nobody really knew anything, and then like
honestly, they here's the call me. Yeah, and I apologize that I was ignorant to everything. I couldn't even figure out why the fuck Superman was dead. I literally was sitting there. I had to Google why Superman was dead. Like while the movie was going on, I'm like, what are you talking about reviving Superman? When did Superman die? I thought he was like indestructible. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, Doomsday like the only nigga that can kill him. Seems like.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I can't wait to Doomsday return though, because after Doomsday, when he come back, he only gets stronger. So and he learns from his previous battles. It's like he's a fucking Saiyan in the DC universe.
No bullshit.
Yeah. But can I say this as well?
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
But can I say this as well? Another thing that was, I guess, reinforced in this movie was this. It don't matter what you're going through in life. It don't matter how crazy things are, how bad things are, how good things are. Ain't nothing like a good piece of pussy to settle you down. Because once Superman saw Lois, he calmed down. Okay? He did. He was good. All right? Superman was good after that. All right? Got his house back. Life was good. They was living life. All right? Now, mind you, Batman bought the bank. You know what I'm saying? He had to do a little weird flex at the end. You know what I'm saying? How did you get the house back from the bank? I bought the bank. You know what I'm saying? That's a Hove type move, but again,
going with that, Batman is the cause, and then also it's like he's the fault of everything. Because now what you said, now when that Poom died, you seen how Superman got.
Oh my god.
He turned crazy. Oh, you gonna let my baby die? It's all your fault, Batsy.
Murdering everything.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, like that's a whole reflection of life within his own.
Yeah, but like, what y'all think's next in the universe? I think the Flash movie gonna be next, probably.
I doubt it, because the Flash universe is already within still itself, and then I think they just gonna make more series with that. I don't have them actually doing a movie.
You got them staying on TV?
Yeah, I got the Flash stand on TV because I don't follow it, but somebody was mutually telling me that they're bringing back a character. It's a favorable character. I forgot the guy's name, but it's
But
pretty
hey,
much like
is that or
something.
Arrow's finishing up? One of them two series going to be over soon.
Now, yeah, I was about to say that. Now, if anything, I'll probably like to see this a single cyborg movie. That'd be dope.
I wouldn't mind that.
Because I mean, right now, out of that, it's either that or the
But
they
he's
will
stuck
have
with
to
Titans
really
and
they'll have to
everything.
get a Green Lantern movie that makes sense.
If anything, they might do a Titans movie.
And also with that, Green Lantern was actually supposed to be played in the movie. Ryan Reynolds actually had, I think, a chance to be in the movie, but they cut it. And he said if after this, he said he will come back and do the Green Lantern over if they would direct it like this. How do you
Nah,
feel about
he's
that?
Deadpool for the rest of his life. I don't. I can't see it. I can't see him doing anything else but Deadpool for the rest of his life. He's in that Marvel curse now. Okay,
Well,
cool. Cyborg is confirmed, and yes, I do remember because The Rock is currently training for Black Adam. If you follow his
yeah,
Instagram,
that was like a year ago. I was about to say that. Go ahead,
yeah,
bro.
he's currently training for it. He was just talking about it on Instagram this week. So yeah, you're right. Him
Now
and
my
his
thing is
224 million followers.
with the Black Adam, like I don't know if they're going to continue with this DC universe or they're going to try another storyline with the new Batman and also the new Joker, with Black Adam and maybe
But it
the
always
Cyborg.
seems like the Batman movies are just standalone, though. It don't seem like it got nothing to do with all this. It's just its own entity. It seems like.
I mean, because they always revamp it. They always want to tell it from a different comic book,
Mhm.
standpoint. So there's so many versions of Batman and his origin. So like, it's kind of hard
Exactly.
to pinpoint which one. And then also, it's like you you can't really go too far into it, like how Marvel did it with their universe because they had a set amount of actors, for a period of timeline, and they actually had a timeline of where they wanted to go. With DC, they're banking off what movies are going to make the most money, and then see where they can go with the sequel or the
That
continuation of
makes
the
sense.
storyline. So like it's kind of asshole backwards to me.
It is
It
because
is.
I'm even hearing it's going to be a Batman Beyond movie, and Michael
Yeah,
Keaton supposed to come back, and be old man Batman.
that's what I'm saying. The DC universe is just not making sense. At least Marvel
They money chaser.
yeah, found a way. At least Marvel found a way to connect everything, and then they brought us to Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Endgame. Like they got all of the characters together. This shit is just not making sense to me, and I think part of the reason why is because I didn't read the comics, but I just don't understand like where they're going with like half of this shit. I just don't. I don't. I don't understand it.
Hmm. Well, in one of the comments, they said it will continue like a prequel to it will continue
Let me tell you
like a
something.
prequel to Shazam. Same
Let me tell you
universe.
something. This ain't a DC universe unless you put Kazam in it, okay? Bring Shaquille O'Neal back and put Kazam in the goddamn universe, okay?
I'm good on that. I'm good. But
That's what they
not
need to do.
no. I mean, if they do that, because it sets up perfectly if they actually add Shazam. Then that way
Okay.
that can bring Black Adam into it because I want to
Is
say
Black
Shazam and
Adam
Black Adam.
is
I
Black
want to
Adam
say are
actually black?
rivals. No,
Okay.
well, it's The Rock.
Okay.
I mean, he's not really black though, but you know what I'm saying? It's Black
Okay.
Adam. But
Okay.
anyway, I mean, that'll kind of set that up, and then also, I really want to see them go into like the apocalypse, man. Like that'd be dope. Like I really want to see them
Mhm.
go with being a dark side and him destroying the earth, and then Superman going crazy, or either the original one where Batman was under dark side from the cartoon version of it, the
Mhm.
movie that just came recently passed, and that was if they're going this dark where he died, where like all the villains was dying and you actually seen them die,
Mhm.
that would be great entertainment. It's like a lot of people, like a lot of superheroes died. Like I think Shazam died, Green Lantern died, uh, pretty much Wonder Woman died. Who else? Pretty much like half of the goddamn villains died in that movie. Like it was vicious. And then like who came to save the day was the Flash.
Okay, so here's what's weird. So something that HBO or whoever DC wouldn't let him do. So Zack Snyder actually revealed that his original plan, and I guess his Snyderverse, was to make Superman and Lois Lane's son the new Batman. Like he was going to inherit more of his mother's traits than his father's, so he wasn't going to have the superpowers. Obviously, he would have been smart, been successful, but then he would have become the new Batman, which is fucking weird.
Well, are they going to do that to force a conflict between the two?
I guess so, but it's not going to happen now. It's not going to happen. It won't happen now.
I mean, they'll give them that bag. Trust me, they're gonna come out. They're gonna come out. They're gonna come out with another movie, and I believe it's gonna fail. And they're gonna go right back and be like, you know what, Snyder? Look, we just want to, massage your testicles. We need you to come back. Whatever you need, we got you. We're on our hands and knees.
Like I told y'all, unless we get Kazam, I don't want to hear nothing about the DC universe. Bring back Shaq, okay? Grant some wishes, damn it.
Now we mentioned it earlier, but I just wanted to get a real opinion on it. So, this movie compared to the Marvel movies, what you think was better?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I fuck with this more than Endgame. I did. It was action packed.
Endgame, you gotta think about Endgame is like a second part to Infinity War. So if you want to do that, include Infinity War and Endgame.
Gotcha.
Infinity War is decent though.
It was. Infinity War was definitely good, and it set up. Here's the problem: it set up a great Endgame. I mean, it set up greatness for Endgame, but Endgame just didn't live up to it. There was too much dialogue in Endgame. I think that's why I ended up falling asleep and not completing it. Like at least this movie was action packed from start to finish, and even though, like,
I don't know about that. I wouldn't say action packed.
I mean, I wouldn't say. Here's what I'll say. I think the ruthlessness of it. You get what I'm saying? Like when Steppenwolf was on the scene, you knew somebody was about to get fucked up. You get what I'm saying? Like you knew. He ain't care if it was your mother, your brother, your auntie, your cousin. If I say they gonna die, that's it. They just gonna die.
Don't tell me what the black box
I might do the
dead.
Infinity War saga because of this. It actually evoked emotion. Like it was times that you was pissed. It was times you wanted to cry. It was times that you like, oh my god, what the fuck's gonna happen next? Like with this one, it was just a good watch. Nothing really evoked that much emotion towards me. Especially like Infinity, like when Spider-Man was dying and all of that. That was an emotional moment. When Iron Man gave up 12 years of his legacy at the end. That was an emotional moment. So that's probably why I would give that the slight edge. But if we talking about just straight,
Justice League.
Yeah, Endgame sucks. But I'm just saying, Infinity War was that damn good though to me.
It was.
And then it, like I said, it's like the first superhero movie you ever seen when that villain actually won at the end. Like he was standing on top. You're like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I can say that. I mean, it left me definitely disturbed at the end. I want to say half of America, or actually the world. To be honest with you, everybody was talking about like just watching it at the end, just like, oh my god, like did they really just kill this guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did they just kill everybody? Like half of the population?
They did.
So
and like I said, I mean, and like I said, Thanos was good, but that's another thing why I need them to make a Justice League too, because I know like Darkseid. First of all, like I said, we already knew how ruthless Steppenwolf was. He didn't care. Oh, I sat there. I watched your mother beg for her life. I watched, whoever begged for them. Darkseid, I'm sure, is 10 times more ruthless than that.
Oh man, but but you seen the snippet when Cyborg had that flash into the future, and the ship was trying to tell him like, man, if you do this, it's gonna be some shit. Like, and then that's when you sing Darkseid, young, down in the water, crush Aquaman with his whole trident.
That's
Wonder Woman. I don't even think they showed the death, but it was just like it was burning her corpse. So that had to be bad. Like the Wonder Woman just get crushed. Like
exactly.
Who else was it? But it's just like me knowing Darkseid and like from the comics, and then also from the animation movies. He is ruthless. Like that man.
You know what? DC, one thing about DC, they do stick more to character of the comic books than Marvel do.
Yeah, and that's what made the first Justice League so bad, because they was focused on Marvel movies and they wasn't trying to make it as dark. They was trying to make it light with comedy. They made Batman a fucking bitch. Like, come on, bro. Like, they got to do better. That's why this one is like, okay, this is what the original was supposed to be.
Yeah. Was it worth the wait? Which I give it?
Definitely worth the wait.
Definitely worth the wait. I give it a 4.5 out of 5.
I give it a 4.5 too. I'm still just like it was just long as shit for me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was that 4 hours. I was like, damn. And like I said, the dramatic every time, the opera music every time Wonder Woman did her thing, I'm like, bruh. By the third time, I'm like, come on.
You know what? It made up for that last Wonder Woman movie. That Wonder Woman in 1984 is trash.
I still haven't finished watching it. I attempted to watch it like maybe 3 times.
The first one was that second one was trash.
I just don't. The thing is, it's just like I hate that they're really making Wonder Woman feminine, and she's not that feminine. She's a fucking Amazon. Like, she's fearless. So, like, why are you portraying her with a dude that's her weakness? Like, that doesn't just, I don't know. It just doesn't sit for me. Like, so if anything, they need to come a little bit harder with that. Like, I could see, like, her hometown, like her mother, sisters, her fellow Amazonians, like, okay, that may be her weakness, so she may fall short for that. But other than that, man, you gotta come better. Like, that dude, like, I don't know. It just played a major part, to why I don't like it.
Yeah, but I mean, go ahead.
No, this is just what I want to say. Sorry, brief interlude. American Playboy, the Hugh Hefner story, is on Prime Video right now. All right, review coming next Sunday from all of us. Okay,
a movie or a documentary?
I think it's a movie.
That's very interesting.
Right now. Let me see something. American Playboy. Let me check this out right now. I'm gonna tell you right now what it is. I told y'all, it's not that Hugh didn't have young girls there. The difference is all the dreams that he promised them, he fulfilled them. That's the difference between him and R. Kelly.
Oh,
yeah.
We done made 2 different shit, buddy.
Oh no, it's actually. So it's an entire season. Apparently, this shit came out in 2017. It's like an entire season.
Oh, it's a TV show.
Yeah, it's actually like a show, and it has 10 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Review coming next week. Let's do it. I'll watch it.
Yep.
It gives me another chance to go to Prime Video. I'm gonna have to watch it for trash ass Thursday Night Football soon, so you gotta get used to Prime Video.
Yeah, well, here's a weird thing. So I felt like Prime Video, like they have decent movies and then they regress, and then they have decent movies and then they regress. Like the movie Bliss was so weird, but obviously because I enjoy Selma Hayek is why I gave it a chance.
I don't like that. All the movies I want to see, I gotta pay for it. That shit blows me. I don't even lie to you. Well,
sir, okay, Dirty Sluts 3. Of course, you have to pay for it. Okay, it's $5.99.
Get out of here. Get out of here. But no, like I mean, American Skin you had to pay for. That was worth the money. American Skin was great.
Yeah. I paid for that too. It was definitely a decent movie.
Yeah. But moving on to news, man.
Oh man, that sucks. All right,
Look,
hold on.
What?
No.
What's wrong? Hold on. What you got?
No,
Juice?
no. Just from the Snyder cut. Okay, so there's so many movies that was actually supposed to be that made from that. So you remember Lex Luthor with Deathstroke at the end, like how he was supposed to get up Batman. We may not get that. The Flash, the whole sequel about the apocalypse, like what I was saying with Darkseid, we may not get that. God, I'm probably gonna say his name wrong, but basically, I'm just gonna say The Martian.
Gotcha.
We're not gonna get Martian the Manhunter.
Can I say that? I apologize, Juice. I really do. I apologize, sir, for cutting you off. Can we just say this too? DC's names for half of these characters are horrible. What the fuck is a Martian Manhunter? Okay,
don't sleep.
I'm just saying the name is trash.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And then also with this, Ray Fisher isn't even returning back to the DCEU. So there's probably not going to be a Cyborg solo movie.
I'm done.
I guess because he's doing Titan. That's the only reason why because he's doing Titan right now. Which is also on HBO Max. That Joan that's an IT show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's looking bad. But
they chasing the bread, man. They chasing the bread with no like future plans for storyline.
And then also with the new Batman, it's like we won't have a single Batman with Ben Affleck. Then that wouldn't lead to the Deathstroke movie, or either them two doing both movies. So it's like all this is for what?
Exactly.
Right.
I'm confused at this point.
You come out with this,
exactly what,
and I said it was good, and I'm not even gonna say this is greatness now. I changed my mind. This movie was great because of the story plots, and it's leaving me mind fucked that I won't be able to watch this.
They can't do this to us, man.
They can. They will do this to us. And
that's
here's the
crazy.
thing. You know who I blame LeBron because he's coming out with Space Jam. I blame LeBron at this point. I blame LeBron.
It is. You blame LeBron.
Isn't that with WB though? Isn't that on the WB?
Yes, it is. I blame LeBron. No, you're right. I blame LeBron at this point.
I don't know. I might have to go with you, MT. I blame LeBron too. It's all his fault.
I can't do this to LeBron. You already got rid of Pepe. You already got rid of Pepe. Don't do that to LeBron.
But if anything, man, look, y'all want to keep it toxic, man. Look.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
If you want, go ahead and kick it off, MT.
But man, action.
Exactly. You know what? Why you want to take me to this toxicity? All right. You know what? All right. Let's first off, and we weren't even going to do this because again, three guys. We don't sit up here. We don't care about celebrity relationships, but we got to talk about the toxicity of Saweetie and Quavo right now. Okay, her trying to be the female Future, and then Quavo letting shit be known and what it is. Okay. So Saweetie, she went on, and it's crazy how this happens. They breaking up, but she also just went on Justin Combs, her ex-boyfriend's podcast. And one of the things
Justin LeBoy, the biggest simp out here. But anyway.
Okay, yeah. Justin LeBoy. Sorry about that. But yeah, so she went on there and she was just like, oh, he said, listen, if your man is doing everything right, will you give him a threesome? Oh, I sure will. I give him a threesome with another dude. Like I could just tell by a lot of her posts and everything, she was all about self. And my thing is, in this world, obviously you have to be selfish to a point, but just some of her comments and everything. Oh, I'm only going to date a guy who's making 8 figures. If he can't buy me Birkin bags and he can't do this, then he ain't worth it. Okay,
I seen that clip.
Yeah, and Quavo was just like you could tell. Here's the thing, Quavo.
Oh, goofy ass nigga here.
Exactly. So I'm glad, and I'm glad that Quavo's sister stepped up and said something as well to correct her. Like, nah, y'all not gonna sit up here and drag Quavo through the mud. Yeah, he might have did what he did, but Saweetie wasn't shit either.
I mean,
Shit
all
was
right.
ass.
So just with the setup though, like with the setup, because
Mhm.
it was a couple of questions. One, um, they was on a Justin LeBoy, I believe his little platform. I think he got on. I think it was on Zeus Network. I could be wrong, but
Nah, it's
anyway,
on
he has.
Revolt. It's on Revolt.
It's on Revolt. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, he had Sweetie and her ex, which I really didn't know, don't really care for, but they were on the show.
Yeah.
One, I think for you to be one of the it couples right now, it'd be weird for you to have this conversation with your ex and actually do the show. I think that's one of those things that you
Exactly.
set yourself up
Yeah,
for failure.
that's messy as fuck. Like,
Now, one of the
what?
questions was like how cancers were always loyal and da 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 da, and then Justin, Lil Combs came out and was just like, man, I met a cancer before. She was cool and da da da. Like Josh swaying in there, like, man, look, I can probably get you back. I know what you like I can get you a Birkin,
Mhm.
basically. And she was like, yeah, um, um, though Justin the boy asked, he was like, so, oh, who's the cancer that you know? She's like, oh, I'm gonna take a drink. Like, it's not really that necessary. Like, for real, you could have just cut it, left it classy, like, hey, I'm the cancer, blah 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 blah, blah, and say something real classy SQ, maybe, or even just cut the conversation and be like, hey, next question. You know what I'm saying? That's irrelevant, right? Now that
Mhm.
brings on what you said with
She
the whole
young.
threesome thing. Now, this is why I was so fucked up with it and the way she answered, because he was like, hey, guys with threesome, like if he's doing everything, like he's paying your rent, he's buying you cars, he's making sure you're good in life, he's helping you succeed in your business. And she's like, I don't know. And like, no, like think about it. Like he's doing everything. Like, would you make a threesome? And police is like, okay. And her reaction to it, it was great for like the Lori Harvey fans, because I think that's who she was
Exactly.
looking up to at the moment. But
Exactly.
she was like, "Oh yeah, I do a threesome, and I will let him choose." Because the real question was, would you let him choose the girl or somebody to come in the bedroom if he's doing everything
Mhm.
right? She was like, "Yeah, I will let him choose the man that we're going to have a threesome with," which also puts you in another bracket of light that you want two dicks at the same time. But
Exactly.
nobody actually thought about that.
Exactly.
Or
And
whoever
I
she
think
fucking
that's
with want to choose a dick. Either way, it's not a good look.
yeah. And here's the thing: when a woman says that, and a woman says, "Hey, a gang bang," or having multiple guys is my fetish. Again, that's your sexual preference, and I don't have an issue with that. But what you need to understand is this: if that's not what I'm into, but you're into that, you've pretty much canceled yourself out. And what I mean by that is, if I was actually going to do anything serious with you, I'm good now. Because
I want to
if that's like, go ahead. Nah, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you, like, okay, you sitting at home and
Mhm.
you're doing for your lady. And back to the video that you said, like, oh, I got me a rich nigga, not in that sense, but just like, it's an Instagram video where there's, oh, I got me a good man, he take care of the bills, he buys me, fancy stuff,
Mhm.
and he takes care of me.
Mhm.
And then you hear her out with her ex on a mutual friend or mutual person that podcast, and she's like, oh yeah, my man can choose another man so we can fuck. How would you feel about that? And you're
First of
this
all, I'm gonna
guy
feel.
that was just already in this, position.
First of all, I'm gonna feel disrespected because at the end of the day, any woman that I'm dealing with knows what I like, and it's not for like. And here's the thing: again, I'm not judging because at the end of the day, we all have our different kinks. But I'm not going to get off seeing another man do my woman. There are some guys that do, and again, that's their prerogative.
That's a whole
I don't
lifestyle.
have anything.
Cuckolds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a different lifestyle. Exactly. If that's what you enjoy, that's what you enjoy. But that's not me. And so for a woman to say that, that lets me know that she doesn't know me as a person. And because of that is why you can pretty much count your days, is why we will not be together in the future. There is no marriage, there is no serious relationship. at this point, we're just going through the motions until we decide to break things off.
How old is she?
I'm just gonna be real.
No,
Hold on, let me check.
26, 27, maybe.
Exactly. She a young joint.
I don't think she's over 30. If she is, then she's fucking retarded.
But you know, with the game, you know the difference between people like her.
She's
like
27.
Yeah, the difference
27.
between her and people that's like really A-list and all that is just, you know, simple media training. Like shit like that, you just don't answer in public. You can allude to it, even throw a hint, but you just don't answer shit like that directly in public.
I mean,
that goes with media training.
Here's the thing. Go ahead, Zeus.
I was just gonna say the backlash from it. Like, you know the dude, you know how people gonna portray it. Like, you know his status. Like, why you gonna make this man look like a gump? So then every time I see this man, in the world, you're like, hey man, you out here picking dicks for your bitch. Like, man, no, I'm not trying to.
Exactly.
You know like,
that's what I was alluding to. That's what I was alluding to in the beginning.
Trying to be like the nigga that Google dinglings. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dingling picker. Nah, man.
Nah, and thank you, Zeus. I'm glad that you expounded on that because that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like this, yeah, like this is weighing in on Quavo as well because it's like, oh, like here's the thing: Cardi B has been open about what her and Offset do, and she said it. Listen, I only do threesomes because my man like it, and then on her birthday or whatever, you know what I'm saying, when they was on the verge of divorce, but then they got back together. She literally was like, oh, when they was in Vegas partying, she said it on the rooftop. She said, yo, I ain't ate a pussy in a while, but guess what? I'm going to do it tonight. So, you know, at the end of the day, Offset, Cardi, and another girl probably indulged that night. And it is what it is. That's their business.
Cardi A-list, though. And, that's what she known for.
That's what I'm saying. But, like, for Saweetie to do what she did, like, that's actually bringing down Quavo. So I don't blame him. And at the end of the day, they said that Quavo's back in the studio. So you know what? I hope he team up with Future. And I hope they make some fire tracks.
But let's keep it real, though. Cardi B is the biggest star in Offset, too. Sometimes you need the biggest stars, what you say go in the public eye. Cardi B is the biggest star in Offset.
She is a bigger star, but at the same time, here's the thing. I still see. So here's the thing, and I don't want to get too deep with this. I feel like Cardi came from a broken home. I feel like Cardi sees certain traits in Offset, which she appreciates. So I feel like at the end of the day, she's going to do things to please Offset, even if she's not 100% on board. She may be 80% on board. But at the end of the day, I'm still okay with that because at the end of the day, Offset is able to be home with Culture. She accepts his other children. They all are living a good life. Versus Saweetie, who just seems like this selfish person who is just like, oh, you know what? It's all about me. And if you're not going to do things the way that I want, then fuck you.
Ain't nothing keeping them together, pretty much.
Exactly.
Oh, they already broke up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They broke up. Exactly.
It wasn't nothing to keep them together.
To be honest, I didn't like really realize that relationship until like she started showing off like more of her body and everything. And like that's another thing too. I felt like her relationship with Quavo actually propelled that more for like people to like want to see her body more and see like what she looked like. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know Saweetie's hit song. I don't.
Right now, her that was her. Okay. I know she got that new jump. That's my best friend. Like it's always out at the club. But I was like, because I was like, who sings this song? I thought it was somebody new, but it's her. I mean, it's a popular jump. You know what I'm saying?
My Type is her biggest hit by far, though. Off the PD Pablo.
But here's the thing. So first off, KS Pios. Let me just say this. There's only one best friend song that I recognize, and that's Jack Harlow and Chris Brown, okay? Because you know why? They talking about threesomes with bitches. Okay?
Oh, man.
Oh, my
God. That's why, okay?
Say it again.
Oh, man.
Threesomes with bitches. Okay? 2 women.
Oh man.
Oh shit. But yeah, man.
But yeah, he needs to come out with a song, just like how when Nicki Minaj came out with that rap. Hopefully, it's way better than that. That's when you need to do it with Future, because that song actually sucked. Now that I think about it, but if he's going in that direction of him, like, all right, okay, you want to go ahead and put me out there, like I'm some simp, let's just go ahead and buy you everything, and then I'm out here dingling, watching and picking, dingling picker. That's gonna be a new word. I might have to hashtag that, yeah. Need to be dingling niggas out here, okay? And I understand it's cool, but we don't need that to be known, okay? Because if I know,
change the meaning of DP.
I mean, like I said, at the end of you funny as shit. Like here's the thing. At the end of the day, I get, like I said, at the end of the day, as somebody who has crossed over, indulges in the lifestyle that may not be, I guess, suitable for your regular American standard family, I'm not going to judge. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I'm not going to the extra shit that people do. But if that's what they decide that they want to do, that's up to them. But that's not me.
That's a legit question. Was the interview the last straw? Justin Combs was ready. Justin Combs probably already scooped that. That probably was already
exactly.
She ain't gonna be single for long.
No, of course not. But here's the thing. And again, this is where I commend Saweetie too, for all the women that are watching, because I know they like, oh, you know what? It's 3 guys on here. I'm sure that they bias. I will say this: at the end of the day, we shame women who sit up here who have sex with multiple men at the same time, don't get anything out of it, but obviously a more open vagina and less dignity, and then they go back home.
I don't know. Lori Harvin kind of winning right now. I'm just saying.
I know, but hold on. Again, you know what I'm saying? We sit up there, oh, she is smut, she this, she that. The fact that she's out here, she has a standard, and she's setting a price limit on her vagina, at the end of the day, more power to her. But what she needs to understand is this: when it gets worn out and a man is tired of investing in it, and then she got to go with the regular nigga
everything got a mileage.
Exactly.
I mean, but all right, no, I think the more setup was because she did the interview and then how she portrayed it. Do you think that she was trying to go back to Justin Combs? Like, was the breakup for him to go in and slide in? Because you watch the interview, he was trying to slide in a little bit. Like, he was trying to make some plays.
It would be a rebound. That's her ex.
So it's simple on the cancer part.
Just an outlet.
Like, oh yeah,
just an outlet.
Yeah, I see it.
I can see that on a fast break. There you go. You know what I mean? Go ahead and take it to the hole, But yeah, 2021 for you. That's all I can say.
Oh man, so is that gonna be the stamp for March? Do we have a stamp for March yet?
No.
Because I know January was the White House thing. February was God, what was February? What was the talk of February?
Anything Kevin Samuels for me.
Oh man. Oh yeah, man, we gotta wait till MT come back. Before we get in Mr. Samuels. The all the ladies love him, because they always, get the great advice of how men's supposed to be. Oh no, Action Jackson. No, not Action Jackson. No, Kevin Samuels. Oh no, he's the one that gets people correct. He actually put you in. Oh, Gorilla Glue. There he was. Well, February was Gorilla Glue. Okay. Yes, it was. So now March maybe for Sweetie. I don't know, unless something else happened that came earlier.
You on the song though, 8-figure nigga. That's my type. So shit. Listen to her music. It's telling the truth.
Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, I just don't see it lasting long for her. Like, okay, there's a difference. All right, so you have Sweetie, and then you have the City Girls, right? Yeah. I respect the City Girls. They're carrying it like that instead of Sweetie, because, to be honest with you, nobody really knew you until you really had an 8-figure nigga that was doing something for you.
But see, that's her type, though. I told you that's her type, though. Listen to the music.
How did this shit?
And I see your lips. Take a little sip. Doesn't take long. Give her some hitty. Give her some
Let me
hitty.
tell you something.
Nigga, that's her type.
Let me tell you something.
I think
Let
if
me tell you
anything,
something.
for her to be the rebound, she need to go ahead and link up with Lori Harvey real quick. Get her to come out of her bag. She need to break up with Michael B. Jordan and then like leave him to the side and then come back.
Move. The whole
You
world.
said what?
Be Jordan.
Oh, so doesn't matter. But as she get him back, guess who's back on top, baby? City Girls is up. That's gonna be a major play. I'm sorry to get y'all game for free, but I just see it. Now, the whole time of City Boys, we gotta be smarter than this, okay? We can't fall to the trap. Hopefully Quavo and Future, make it a hot boy summer. And we're gonna be lit.
They deserve it. But hold on, but Future. So here's the funny thing about Future. Even though he been on his bullshit, Future actually been bunning up this whole quarantine. He got him a little bae.
Who?
Hold on. Let me find out. Nah, he do. I promise you he do. Hold on.
Last time I seen Future, he was at the club looking at his security, throwing out a white girl trying to get in VIP.
No bullshit.
Hold on, I'm about to tell you right now who she is.
Yeah.
Oh, Des Dior. That's her name.
Des Dior. Oh, he's not bunning that, John. That's just what was that's just a trophy piece right now, okay? Future know what he's on. You need a trophy piece on the side.
There it is. Yep. Thank you. Des Dior. Yep. That's her name. But guess what? He been spending a lot of time with her now. Obviously, we can't speak for when things open back up because Vegas is opening back up in May. We have the South that's open, other than Miami, who actually just issued a fucking sanction, and everybody got to be inside at 8 p.m. So that's a little weird.
Oh,
but
weird.
Yeah, South Beach, Miami. So because everybody been going down there for spring break, all the bars, everything, it's an 8 p.m. curfew. Everything has to be shut off at 8 p.m. Yeah.
So just linger more people to be outside in the street. And
exactly.
Smart and dumb.
Exactly. Because guess what? Because here's what's going to happen. Here's what people need to understand. Although that shit is going on, people are going to go to the liquor stores, buy a whole bunch of bottles, even if they got a scam, and then they'll be out there giving shots to people, and they still going to be out there in the streets.
It's still up.
Yeah, they still up. At the end of the day, what has to happen is this. South Beach, you're going to have to go on an actual lockdown. Like, you're going to have to call National Guard in to say, we got to put people in. Like, we got to put people in their hotels. That's it. But
right,
here's the thing, gentlemen.
I was waiting on you before we get to Action Jackson, but go ahead, finish, MT.
No, I was just gonna say, let's go ahead, man, and you know what I'm saying, switch.
Action Jackson,
and let's go switch gears. Exactly. Okay. And let's talk about it, man. New Music Friday. So
you mean
Zeus
Benny the Butcher Friday?
Exactly. Here's the thing. I don't even need to go into detail about everybody that dropped. It's only one album that actually counted.
Well, Young Dolph dropped something.
No, he did not. He dropped a song. He did not drop an album. Dumb and Dumber 2 is still to come.
Okay, all right. I'm waiting on that. That's my man, but I'm not really sold off the song that he dropped, though, if we want to talk about it before we get into the album. If it's going to be anything like that, I'm good. I'm like, this is going to be the one I'm going to have to go ahead and trash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it, y'all. The plugs I met too. Okay, the intro when Tony met Sosa. Gentlemen, let's just talk about the album. It was Benny the Butcher and Harry Fraud. Okay, how do you all feel about it?
8 tracks. It was fire. I like it. I like that he
9.
Huh?
Is it 8 or 9?
I think it's 8.
It might be 8.
It's 9. It's 9, brother. It's 9, brother. My bad.
Okay.
I forgot about Thanksgiving. But actually, it's solid. I mean, what you expect for Benny the Butcher and Griselda? They make fire shit. I mean, I do like that he got like more in detail about that music saved him from the game and all of that. He had some good songs on there. I like Plug Talk with 2 Chainz a lot. That joint was fire. He had a couple of features on there. Like I didn't think he would have Fat Joe on the fucking album.
Hold on, before that, no, before you skip that, I was listening to that joint, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz come up with some witty lines sometimes, but listening to him, to Benny the Butcher, it made me realize how elementary 2 Chainz bars are. I swear to God. I was like,
no, real talk though.
I was like, I've been listening to this guy all my life. Like, not all my life, but for a long time. Like since Titty Boy. And I just like, don't do that 2 Chainz. Next time, come a little bit harder. It was decent, but it was just elementary to me. Like, come on,
like
man.
he like one of them dudes. Like every 16 bars, he'd give you a hotline.
Right.
And the
That's
rest
pretty much what it is.
Okay.
Like he not a rapper that kill verses. He a rapper that give you moments. If that makes sense.
It's pretty much how you listen to Wayne like dedications now, and then you actually listen to the lyrics and you be like, yeah, what the hell was I listening to back in the day? Yeah, like this is it doesn't even make sense. It's just punchline after punchline, and it just sounds good together.
Yeah. That's what we say about Drake 10 years from now. I keep telling people that Drake started to ramble.
I mean, here's what I'll say.
Drake is losing his characteristic or his character traits. Like it seemed like he transformed into everybody else or whatever is hip at the time and try to imitate it. And now he has all these mixed personalities and he don't know which one to pick.
Nah, he just a rich nigga. I need to go back to that humble kid that barely made it out of Degrassi. Like, I think he lost his hunger for the game, to be honest with you. I mean, why would he be hungry? He's been on top of it.
So here's the thing. If you check out Benny's album or EP, whatever it is, on Apple Music, the 2 songs with stars on there is obviously what they want to push. And that's When Tony Met Sosa and then Plug Talk. I don't have either one of them downloaded. The songs that I actually liked off of it was Live By It, where he was talking about people using a gun and how, you know what I'm saying, when they shoot people and everything, they want to put it out there on social media and, build this facade. But obviously it's the people who do those type of works and keep it secret. Like those are the real people that should be celebrated. And then Longevity with French Montana and Jim Jones. I love that fucking song.
Yes. You think that's the best song on there?
I think so. And I think Zeus, didn't you put a comment on there about Longevity? If I'm not mistaken. I think you did. Hold on, let me see something. Somebody put something about Longevity on it. And I was
crazy.
Like, you know what?
You never thought when Dipset was together, Jim Jones would fuck around and be the best out of Dipset. That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't see it on there, but Longevity, that's my shit. And what he's talking about on Longevity is what a lot of these rappers need to realize is that you get in, you make the money while it's there, because at the end of the day, it's not going to last forever. And then you just take it and you keep it moving. What's up, Chris?
I mean, it's two dudes that's been in the game 20 years too. So that's what makes it, Yeah.
And it's pretty much what Benny's doing now is like with that whole Griselda, situation.
They'll be around
pushing his music is like, all right, I'm in the game now. I have my spotlight. Let me go ahead and make it what it's worth. Like, especially he says that a lot in his interviews, like of what you really want to do and then what you want to portray. It's like almost like an actor, like how people saying like Hugh Jackman is stupid from leaving Wolverine. It's like, think about the longevity part. Like, I still want to be an actor the rest of my life. Now, this is great. This pushed me, but I'm going to leave it off where it's still good.
Yeah,
and then take on other endeavors.
Hugh Jackman is a great actor. I mean, the man been on Broadway. I don't know what the fuck they talking about, but that's another story. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But as far as the longevity part, it's like he's still here. Like we still love this guy. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want to love him as just one thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the part of longevity. Like with Jim Jones, like he still raps, but he still has a lot of other endeavors that he's taking care of behind the scenes. Then he could just go ahead and come back and just lay down some fire when he need to. Pretty much like Hov. You know what I'm saying? Like he's killing it right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, matter of fact, Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Like, come on, man. Like, that's the thing of longevity. And then going back to what you were saying, MT, like how Apple was trying to push the typical dope boy, corner boy status, songs instead of the ones that we need to hear and of how they portray us and how they try to play us and how we need to move and maneuver around that.
Yeah.
So I see it. This is kind of BS, but we already know that.
But you know why I love Benny though? Because every time Benny raps, he still raps like he ain't have a meal. That nigga's still hungry. That's what you need to be in the game. That's the difference between him and like a Drake to me.
Yeah.
Like the dude is still hungry. He's on top of the game right now, but he's still rapping like he ain't even get a check yet. I love that shit.
Of
Drake
course.
lost me when he came out talking about, man, I gotta give reduced respect to Bow Wow, and I had to pull up on Little Weezy and little Whistle and show him some love because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. What the fuck? Nobody cares, nigga. Like, why did you?
And you stole your whole image from Soulja, okay?
Right.
Soulja called himself Young Draco. Exactly. Soulja Boy called himself Young Draco. You called yourself Draco. What else? The song that you did, Tell Me Was Really Going On, Drizzy back up in this thing. You stole that whole line from Soulja Boy and kissed him through the phone. Exactly. Like, come on, man. Give Soulja his flowers. Man, just give them to him.
I don't know. I wonder would he ever get it though.
No. He probably won't.
No,
he won't. You know why? Because it's not the popular thing to do. But the thing is, what I like about Jay-Z is this. At the end of the day, he's so timeless. Like that's why I will always appreciate Jay-Z.
I wouldn't say that.
He's him in any era.
Probably to your ears, but I hear the old, not I wouldn't say old man factor, but I hear the growth into his lyrics. And I'm not going to say it's timeless because it's not relevant to what the times are. It's pretty much that he can still fit in his caliber of music into today's time, if that makes sense.
Hold on. When you say that he's not relevant today, first of all,
I didn't say not relevant. I'm talking about relevant as far as today's music type. Like,
yeah, I know what you meant.
I get what you said. Okay, all right. Yeah, you know what? I can agree with that.
He make a great point. Like he does him in any era. That's what makes him timeless. He's always.
But I get it. But it's just like I don't know. I mean, timeless would be like you can adapt in any era and then change to that. He's not adapting. He's growing. He's showing growth, but he's not adapting to what the era is. He's putting his own spin on it.
He is the era.
I'm about to say. But here's what I'll say, and I get what Zeus is saying. Here's the thing. I don't think he's still 2021 yet, but you can't say that he's not adapting to the era when he made Ape Shit and he used Quavo. You get what I'm saying? He didn't have to use Quavo on the lyrics and ask Quavo to write Beyonce's verse. He could have said, you know what? I'm going to write your verse, B.
Beyonce, though. I don't think that was it.
I don't know, but either way it worked.
I don't think he would probably even had that even happen. He probably would have spent it his own way.
But guess what? At the end of the day, he did, and it worked.
It did work, though. I give you that.
Yeah, you can play like.
But I'm gonna agree to disagree. How about that?
He be dancing every time. I ain't gonna lie.
It's like I agree to what you're saying, like him as far as moving with the times, but I just don't think it's like timeless. I guess. I mean,
let me tell you something.
Tomato, pretty much.
Scorpion Bricks way before Aubrey's double disc. Got the 40 on my lap, clap sound like 40 on the mix. Like, come on, man. You let them crackers storm your capital, and then you talking tough to me. I lost all of my little respect. Like, come on, man. You gotta respect Hov for that. He going straight at Trump.
The lyrics are still there, but it's just like when you hear him on a track, you can tell that he's not a modern rapper. Like, even if you don't even know who Hov is, you'll listen to his lyrics and be like, yeah, you know what? This nigga spitting. But it's like, who? All right, who is that? Like you can tell, like he's not a modern rapper. He's like, all right, this
he still says his words clear. I'm gonna be honest with you, he don't mumble anything.
Exactly. Yeah, he don't mumble anything.
It's like, all right, who can I use for example? Like Ross. How about that? That's a person like his flow changes with the era, and he tries to stay timeless.
Drake too. Drake.
I mean, of course, that's the epitome of actually imitating the next era. Yeah,
exactly. But here's what I will say is this: Hove does a good job of talking about current events and making it relevant with people like, oh, you know what? All right, I get it. Here's the thing. Till this day, on people say like on What's Free, people sit up there and get on Hove and be like, oh, he was dissing Kanye. And I'm like, if you really listen to what he was saying, it was actually a diss to Trump and not Kanye. Because he said the line, he was like, no red hats. Don't Michael and Prince me. And they separate you when you got Michael and Prince's DNA. I'm not one of these house niggas you bought. My house like a resort. My wife better, of course. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my route better, of course. My spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's just that they fit in Kanye with that because it was kind of relatable. But if you dig deeper into the box score, then you already know who he's talking about.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, him and Kanye are billionaires, but they want to try to pit them against each other because they know that if him and Kanye come together, at the end of the day, that's going to be a powerful force. So let's put these two against each other, and then boom, kind of like Judas and the Black Messiah. Hey, you know what? We know what Fred Hampton is capable of. He carrying out the same dream as JFK, you know what I'm saying, Martin Luther King, and the rest of them. So if we could find somebody who is like his color, use leverage against him, and then exploit him to fuck him over and kill him, then you know what? We can continue to try to give division in the black community or in the people of color community.
They killed that man at 21. I'd never get over that.
That's what I'm saying. 21 years old, you knew what he was capable of, and you just went on here and assassinated him. Shit is fucking crazy.
But overall, though, get back to the Benny. It was fire.
Oh, yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, 2021 is off to a slow start. We need to fucking step it up. Summer is coming. We need some more people to come out with shit.
You mean, hold on, here's the thing. You talk about 2021. You mean you're not impressed by the Drake 3-pack and the fact that it's number 1, 2, and 3 on the Billboard charts?
Get the fuck out of here. And I wish that dude that said he could go come on the fucking show right now. That's some bullshit. By the way, and one of them sound like he on his way to being washed. Yes, Rick Ross is on his way to being washed. If he rap like that still. He might be going the Young Jeezy route. Let me be honest with you.
Yeah. You got a point there. Because Young Jeezy all the way, what was that junk that he had all those features on there and then they clowned him on Complex? Mm-hmm. I don't even know the name of the album. And that's how bad it was.
Be honest, the best verse on that 3-pack was Lil Baby. I have to say it. Lil Baby was the best verse on that 3-pack.
I didn't even listen to that album, man. That's making it so sad. I think I only listened to that song with the Lil Baby on there.
For Lil Baby.
Right.
Yeah. And here's another thing too. Can I just say another thing too? For the lames and the goose out there, because somebody made a viral video where they was like, oh, Lil Durk talking about not needing security in the club, but here he is with his entourage and security getting in, you know, his car to get away, and there was a shootout here. First of all, here's what you have to understand, okay? Music is entertainment. If I'm worth millions of dollars, absolutely I'm going to have security and everything around me.
You live what you rap about era. That shit is
exactly.
No, that's going to be the legit way of protecting the bag, because I am the bag, so I'm protect me. So
exactly.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, but Zeus, did you see how it went viral? Yeah, and Pooh Shiesty came to Lil Durk's defense and was like, yeah, and Pooh Shiesty was like, yo, the internet is fucking full of goofies. Like, don't even worry about it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he had a similar situation where it was a line where he was saying, like, man, I'm never lacking. Always keep the Mac on me. You know, something. And dude pulled up and was like, he ain't never lacking. look at him. He right there in the car. I could have busted his melon open. I'm like, dog, like you on the next block around the corner, like spying on a whole nother grown ass man. You kind of look a little goofy out here. And you're not about to do nothing. Like, come on, man, get out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, with this new era, guess what? All right, you can call me a pussy, a punk, all you want to. I am cool with that. Especially if I'm worth millions of dollars. I am here to protect myself, who's an investment, to provide for my family in the future.
I ain't worth shit, nigga. I'm damn near almost like 100 or some shit like that, nigga. And I'm poomed up, nigga. I always stay aware of my surroundings all the time.
Yeah.
Shit, call me a pussy all you want. I'm about to say now there's a difference, you know what I'm saying? There's one-on-one, we gonna knuckle up all the time. We see who will be pussy then.
But again,
and even with that, like going on today's society, like shit, if I whoop your ass, I gotta still watch out for you because now you and your feelings, you want to come back, you know what I'm saying? You want to go ahead and get vengeance, you know, you can't beat me with the hand, so what you gonna use next?
Exactly. Yep.
So
now I'm gonna use a gun to try to kill you.
Man, that's why, like, man, confrontation. I'm like, man, I'm good. Look, we can't have a debate about it and it turn into an argument. I'm gonna let you have it. You win in every one of them.
Yeah,
man,
it's just not worth it at the end of the day. It's not.
But back in the day, though,
let me tell you something.
Man.
These was all the protection that you need. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to fight another day.
So. With the Benny the Butcher, what y'all rating it?
Honestly,
solid 4.
Honestly, I'm gonna get that shit a 5 out of 5. I had no quarrels with it. It was perfect to me.
Wow.
I give it a 4. I'll give it a 4. I want to give it a 4.5, but
go ahead, meet it in the middle.
But it's just like, I give it a 4.
Let me tell you something. Harry,
I don't know. When you think of 5, I think of something like Jay-Z Blueprint.
You know what? I give it 4.5 just because of Harry Fraud.
Yeah, like Harry.
As a Harry Fraud, fan, I love Harry Fraud. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But here's the thing, Old Man Jones. At the end of the day, how you sit up there, you know what I'm saying? You went on Lil Pump, you go on the new generation and all that.
Oh man, hey,
this was
that was hilarious.
You about to defend that bullshit?
I'm not defending anything, but I'm just saying the way y'all reacted on it was hilarious.
It was. Like, until I realized he said something, I was like, "These niggas done trolled me again." I'm getting
like here's what you have to understand: Lil Pump hasn't been relevant since his single with Kanye.
That's what we said. 2001.
Exactly.
16.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, he saw what Lil Yachty did with getting his nails colored, and he saw how it went viral. So Lil Pump said, you know what can I do to go viral? Oh, let me get my nails all different colors and different designs, and then that'll bring me relevant again. So when I drop new music, people will pay attention. I don't care about Lil Pump, and at the end of the day, his only relevancy at this point in time is being called Lil Pimp by former President Trump. That's it.
He called him Lil Pimp.
Yeah, he called him Lil Pimp when he was introducing him for his little campaign speech.
Oh yeah,
he was like
little pimp.
Exactly,
Little Pimp.
Yeah, he had the little on the extra on the P and shit. I was like, yeah, Little Pimp. What? Who's Little Pimp? But nah, though, I respect Lil Pump though for real, because he was like, man, I just wanted a bag. I don't care about none of that. It's like, all right, man, get your money, young man. You still look goofy, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. It's just like when you're an artist, you somewhat a celebrity, you have influence. Like, please don't let that be the new trend for the youngins out there. Don't paint your shit. Get armor cuts. That's all.
I don't know. It's not really too many young artists doing it in a fashion that's really respectful right now. It's if they're not making hardcore rap and talking about how many guns they got and how many support they got. It's like they not respected. The only person I can really put out there for real is, I'll probably say Lil Baby, and then on the cuff maybe 21 Savage. But then again, it's like they over. Nah, but Pooh Shiesty, come on, man, you know his lyrics. It's like they over 30, so it's like under 30. It's like I really hold on. No, Lil Baby should be like what 28, 29?
Yeah, 28.
And Pooh
All right, so
Shiesty
yeah.
is young too. Pooh Shiesty young.
But
He
no,
only
his,
like
his
20.
lyrics,
Put him in
his
that
lyrics is
category.
different though. I
Don't
can't put him in that
first of all,
category, man.
don't disrespect Pooh. God damn it.
BFI garbage. Oh, he ain't
Don't do
no
that.
Little Baby or 21 Savage.
Hey
level.
man, look,
He's
you know
not.
Shiesty, that's my dog, but you know I'm really Shiesty. Okay, so
Exactly.
no, that's not.
You and the $1 million people that say that fucking line. Look at
Hey, I'm tired of that shit, yo. Because I think I heard something the other day. I wasn't even Pooh Shiesty. What was I listening to? Oh, it was a throwback jump, and because Gucci did it too, but it was with him when he was with the Gold Link song. And he was like, you know, wish I glizzy, but ain't nothing shy about me. I'm like, dog, if y'all don't stop that shit, nigga, just because they on the track, don't put it in your verse.
What's so cool about it? What's so cool?
Well, here's the thing. You know why I know why they do that, Zeus? I think I figured it out. The reason why they do that is because now the art of being in the studio and recording with an artist is gone. Everything is digital now. So I'm a record a track, send it to that artist, they get on the track, and then boom. Where before, both artists would be in the studio, so you could hear the ad libs. They were ad libbing off of each other, hyping each other up, making the song more authentic. Where now everything is digital, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna record it. Oh, I'm gonna send it to you because you on the road.
To put somebody's name in a rhyme, I mean, that went together since the 80s. I guess the only difference is these things actually write that shit now. Is that a freestyle? Because it's cool if you freestyle it. Like, people actually write that shit on paper, and you'd be like, dog, that's just corny. You really wasted a line of paper on that.
Yeah, you make sense on that. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I didn't really think about that.
I mean, they've been doing this since back in the day.
But it's like you wrote that shit, nigga. You was like, yeah, that's
yeah,
that's the line, that's the bar right there. And no, it's not.
It's all right. Maybe write that shit. Like, come on, you wrote
I think
that.
the only line that made me stuck out, young, was literally Lil Durk's line. But everybody else that did it after then, it just doesn't stick for me.
And here's the thing, and the more and more I listen to that song, the more and more other lines actually stick out to me more than that line. So, like, one of the things is people don't even realize it. Like, obviously, and I don't want to give him too much shine, but obviously the rat from New York was 6ix9ine when he said the line about if a man's killer ain't dead, you shouldn't be wearing no RIP shirt. Pooh Shiesty said that line within like the first 4 bars of that song. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that Von's killer isn't dead. At the end of the day, they shouldn't be wearing no RIP shirt or paying tribute to Von because and like that's another thing with 6ix9ine. He's pointing out the hypocrisy of so-called gangster rappers. If you living by what you so-called saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you living by what you so-called saying, at the end of the day, Quando Rondo should be dead right now because we all know he was responsible for the killing of Von.
Oh man! Speaking of Quando Rondo, I seen this video, and I have so many mixed emotions on this because I really don't want to seem like a hypocrite because I want to up him. I want to up him on wanting to change his life because he was on the video. He was like, "Yeah, man, these streets is treacherous or treacherous." You know, he talk real weird as hell. He's like, "Oh man, and I'm like, I gotta look over my shoulder, man. I want to get back to community. Like, man, there's so much more I can do with myself and my people." I'm like, nigga, you was just shooting the nigga's favorite ops, right? You know what I'm saying? You was just out here, you know, putting in work. Now you want to have safety. Now you want to get back to the community.
He had too deep. It's getting close to the end for him, probably.
That's what it is, and I'm like, bro, that's not how that works, bro.
He ain't too deep.
Now you want to get into politics so you could be safe.
Yeah, it don't work like that.
I need to get into politics, and you know that's he named somebody else.
I want to donate. I want to donate to charities, and I want to do all of it. Right. All of that was before you pulled out the trigger for getting your ass whooped. Like, let's be real. And it goes back to something that I hear, you know what I'm saying, a lot of our generation talk about. Like, at the end of the day, the problem is this. Social media really has this facade of people. At the end of the day, back in the day, and I know you all for this, when we was in middle school and even starting out early high school, as long as you fought, even if you lost, yeah, people clowned you, but we said
you got respect.
You got respect because at the end of the day, you ain't back down, you fought, even if you lost. Now with social media, they want to clown you, they want to make you all of this. And it's like, okay, you want to clown me, but I stood and I fought. So if I go back and I shoot the person now, you're gonna give me respect. But then when I get caught for it, because I went back and shot the person and put it all over social media, now I'm an idiot. Like the whole shit is just weird to me.
You can't win. You can't win. That's the point. That's why you should never play the game. You should never play the game because it's the game you can't win.
Exactly.
They always gonna shit on you one way or another.
Exactly.
You could be even too good of a man.
Yep.
I know he fucking up somewhere. You know what I mean?
Or if not that, you're a simp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Derek Jackson. Shout out to Derek Jackson.
Action Jackson. This band breaking Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on y'all, but I know we've been in it. But I would say, man, we probably had it middle of the week and go ahead and talk about it. But
absolutely. Shit, I'm good with it. We could talk about it because I want to gather all the facts so we can talk about it. And what I want to say is this: all you delusional women out there, you get yourselves fucking ready, because anytime that there's a man, the difference between him and Kevin Samuels, and I'm just gonna break it down for y'all, is that Kevin Samuels goes at everybody. He goes at men and women. He's
educated with
and
facts.
He's smart and he's educated. And basically what Kevin Samuels is saying with this and a lot of his premises is, as long as you have money to afford the lifestyle that you want to live, you can do it. But you can't be broke and you can't be looking crazy out here asking for a certain type of lifestyle. Derek Jackson was solely pandering to dumbass women who have no fucking clue.
Yeah, he was the gay friend to everybody, pretty much.
Exactly.
To the community.
Exactly. If you cheat on him and get pregnant by another man, he should still stick by you.
Girl.
Exactly. He owes you that much. Y'all live together. Get the fuck out of here. But we'll talk about it midweek. We'll arrange a date. It'd probably be Wednesday.
I like Wednesday.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I'm MT signing off. And with me and my co-host,
Mr. Jones, aka Sam Jones, the Mr. Come First, because you gotta respect me and down below today.
You know what it is. It's the truth, man. It's always a pleasure and an honor being on the show. Make sure y'all check out the replay on YouTube at Too Much Show, if I said that right. Too Much Show. And then make sure y'all go ahead and, if y'all having trouble actually finding the show, because I know multiple people do, just make sure you just subscribe so that way you can always get the pop-up. And then that way you won't have to click the bell, and then that way you get notified. Peace.
And then look below at the link tree. It's all there.